Always a pleasure to be with you. Today, another beautiful day, the very first Monday for the second, the month where they end the first half of the year 2025. So that's the month of June. How time flies, right? It be like saying I just yesterday, and I will say Happy New Year. And by the time you say Jack Robinson, nah, June, now we day like this. So welcome to the month of June. I'd like to officially welcome you because now the new week be this. You know, say our week, even though it's supposed to start on Sunday, but now Monday night they done or not say week does start. My name is Precious Ingen. I here to always bring on an update on things really happen for inside Nigeria. It always fits my belly to bring on a day's updates them. So today we get Obonge updates them for now. But besides all the update them we get Obonge experts for inside the house. Where go follow us touch light the things them we get to do with government, especially as it concerns economy and finance. Make I even look whether Oga Muktar don't join us for inside the house because it go good make we put mouth for inside this talk well. I go give on a headlines of things we go discuss, so but make we go check whether Oga Muktar did for backyard. Dey wait. Oga Muktar, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much for joining me this evening.
Precious, thank you for
Yeah,
having me. So
thank you.
sorry, I'm doing it from Kaduna. And
No wahala. Now this one way weather no good, when network no go gree good. Now we go hold am.
we will talk. We will
We go
talk.
call the gods of our land, may they hold the network well.
We will talk about God's grace. The network will do okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So make I quickly give them heads up, then I will come back to you, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, sir. Okay. All right. So that's Muktar Muhammed in the person we sabi well as he get to do with finances and waiting concern financial matter. In fact, na man will be say if you watch him well, it appear for different media houses, sake of say he they talk well. Muktar Muhammed, na CEO finance with Mukhtar because the man will be say is sabi well. So he could help us dissect and break down, expose the lies of people like Bayo Onanuga on the hundred gains or over 100 gains of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration, especially in reforms, according to Oga Bayo. It will also help us the breakdown waiting Oga Wike talk, say hungry no day. Say politicians will say hungry day. They just they hungry to get power. Okay, so we're going to break down all of those ones. Make we know whether truly hungry they land or hungry no they land. We go separate. Going to help us separate the lies from the politics. Basically, now waiting to help us separate. So now waiting make I say make I just put them front there. But we could just go on some of the headlines and when we get this evening, make on just the know what's they happen. I've not seen anyone who will sack me from PDP. Wike bulls. Did they make my say nobody? They're not born them well. Nobody go fit sack me from PDP. We knew what we did. Wike speaks on PDP's failed plots to capture Lagos. We know what thing we do. IPOB's a Geoffo accuses Wike of extravagance in hardship period. Say, look at you. You're spending money anyhow. You're doing anyhow. Even as people are suffering hardship. Look at you. All right, then we'll move to other issues. Federal government wants dealer over viral video mocking civil servants' ability to afford luxury car. That one saved day, and we'll go put mouth for inside that one too as we dey yarn this evening. Then we'll walk enter inside other issue as it is hot for inside this evening. As Fubara, like son trying to shoot his father dead. Weekend I talk that one. I believe they like to dey put mouth too much for Fubara and weekend matter because I don't tire. Can't be like say every 2-3 market days Oga Wike dey get press conference so that he could dominate the media space. Like say won't control wetin the narrative they talk about him or media they talk about him. But it's okay. Over 950 locations in southeast occupied by bandits, herdsmen, and kidnappers. This now according to reports. Say over 150 locations for inside southeast they occupied by bandits, herdsmen, and kidnappers. We'll also look into that matter. Hold government accountable for healthcare services. Resident doctors and don't they talk this one. And Bianca Ojuku don't lead Newi elders to thank Soludo for ministerial appointment. Say abeg o, Newi elders, make una come follow me thank our governor Oga Soludo as he used give me ministerial appointment for appointing me or nominating me to Oga Tinubu to appoint me. 2027 won't be about defections. PDP spokesman wants Tinubu APC. Say, on I don't they defect. Not gonna be about defection. No. Meanwhile, protest hits Benue community over abduction of traders in Owupa. And then other headlines there. Edo community bans sales consumption of beef over kidnapping killings of kingsmen by herdsmen. In case you don't understand them, they say a community for Edo State talks say from now on our people no go to chop meat again. Anybody will chop meat or you're for you. Nobody go chop meat for this community again. Sake of say Herdsmen where they carry the meat, they kill our people them and they kidnap our people. So because of that, more ban meat. Malu people carry your malu they go. Meanwhile, as it gets to do with defamation, Natasha will appear before the court tomorrow, and hopefully we will see Azamata take go. Two Zamfara vigilantes don't die as NAF airstrike kill 20 terrorists. Then we'll just move on to other issues. Amaechi hungry for power, not food. Wike tackles ex-minister. As ex-minister thought say, Nigerians are hungry. Nigerians are hungry. Now so Wike talk. And now waiting make Oga Muktar go help us. Who they to talk, who they talk to, who they lie, who really they hungry, who need they hungry. Don't blame Tinubu. Nigerians are used to cheap money. Or just a Carlo. Now you talk this one. We'll also look into and waiting Oga Muktar go help us explain whether not true say Nigerians they used to cheap money. Only the blind will accuse Tinubu of non-performance. We can be not talk down and say now who need a see road, then go talk say wicked Tinubu need to perform. And Tinubu's reform have created more opportunities. Presidency. Now talk this one. Nigerians making money due to Tinubu's reform. Onanuga, now talk this one. The matter then what would they handle? A plenty well, but we could just go back to Oga Muktar Shapali so that we fit start the matter then one at a time. Oga Muktar, thank
Yes,
you
yes.
once more and join us. So Oga Muktar, before I go on, I say I did one video where I go play for you, eh? When I play that video, then you go feel begin tell me how good or not our economy did. So if there people where they sell motor for inside Abuja, then do a video where it be say for inside that video, they narrate say this particular car civil servants no go fit buy am. And they can't ask the AI where they the car. Mercedes AI, civil servants go fit buy you. The AI say no, civil servants no go fit buy am. Now, NEMA don't they want the car dealer say that thing when you do they dangerous. Say how you go the rubbish civil servants like that to say they no go fit buy their car. So NEMA, Nigerian government, federal government generally don't want the car dealer. Say that thing when you do say na rubbish. Why it they make civil servant they look poor? Then I will come ask you the implication of
Brother,
this thing. Oh, yeah,
this is a
watch the video as a young
2023
man.
Mercedes-Benz C300. And my brother, when I say hustle, you go think that they try to oppress you. Look at one technology that this car has. Hello, Mercedes. Hello, Mercedes.
How can I help?
Can civil servants afford you?
No, maybe in 2062.
My brother, you see, say no be me talk now. Mercedes talk Hello, Mercedes.
How may I help you?
Chinajang Hausa.
Kadan, Kadan.
My brother, hustle, so that your Mercedes can be speaking to you in any language that you want. This car is going for only 85 million naira.
All right, okay. So Oga Muktar Muhammed, you hear him as the Mercedes using mouth talk say no civil servants them no go fit afford them. Now, Nigerian federal government through NEMA don't want the car dealer say this thing when doing a rubbish. Say they gaslight civil servants them. In an ideal economy, especially economy where it be said and tell us say things don't they work. Waiting this kind of thing means say civil servants them no fee buy cars of choice. Waiting it mean,
Precious.
sir?
First and foremost, I don't think say the guy do justice to am to come bring Mrs. Benz, say me civil servant by it. I mean, he not do justice to am. Even the AI to get the question right. Any civil servant when they drive Mrs. Benz, when we look in salary and everything, even with allowance, we will say don't steal our money. Yeah, I mean, if we talk that of a Toyota Camry or a Honda car or some of these new type of vehicles when they come in now, I go understand that. But to use a car like the Mercedes Benz like that, can they say will civil servants begin to even in that 2062 self, they will not even be able to afford it. So
But
let's
in a working economy, can a civil servant afford this car? That's the question because government say
well
the economy don't they work
well
now.
it depends on when you look in what is the working economy and what is your grade in a working economy. Is it a working economy that is largely driven by credit card, credit system, a working economy whereby I can pay, then I'll be able to pay as I earn, as I go? I think that can work. But in an economy like what we have in Nigeria, where virtually you don't have a credit system, you have to pay everything by cash. It will be very difficult for anybody to be able to afford that car, even any type of a good car. That's why you see that most of the cars that sells here are Tokumbo. Even in the private sector, as big as the private sector is, most of us cannot, most people in the private sector cannot afford such a car. So I don't, I think in a developed system, yes, you go to big systems in the world. I mean, civilized system, developing economy. A lot of civil servants even drive Range Rover, but again, that's basically based on the ability to buy through credit card and pay over a specific amount of time.
Okay, sir. All right. So okay, all right, I agree with you. But if to say this kind of car now for just like you talk, a credit-driven economy like the United States and other areas, that means the civil servants, depending on your level or grade level, profit afford them, right?
Definitely, I agree. They should.
Okay. All right, thank you. Make we
Even
leave
if
am
we
here.
run our economy, if we run our economy very well,
Mhm.
I mean, there are some level of civil servants. A palm sec. Precious, may I tell you, there was an incident that happened to me some years ago. I was going to Ijebu Ode, and I was driving a Range Rover, and the police stopped me. And I said, okay, make I show on my paper. They said, oh, God, forget this paper, forget this paper. We know, just find out something, maybe we dey go. I go say, wait, he say, oh, God, we know people like you when they drive this kind of big cars. I said, your IG, your commissioner of police, I say, no, commissioner of police don't feel afford this car unless we do other things.
So they
So
self know say
that
they get to do other things to drive better car.
exactly. So that's the system that we are now at the moment. That's the system.
So what does this mean? Wetin it mean say we get this kind of system where we say make they reward hard work because that's what it looks like. Like the system does
No,
not reward people who work
see,
hard.
precious.
Sir,
Look, for me, why I'm not so much car na luxury.
you
Make
don't
we
think it's a
go,
necessity?
may we go back to this Tinubu government. What we are not seeing, precious, people cannot eat, which is basic.
And now you don't
So
carry me go where they go before. Okay.
it is basic. I'm not looking at car is too much of a luxury. Maybe if that AI has gone to the market and say how many people can afford half bag of rice or one to cup of rice or 3 cup or 5 cup of rice,
Hmm.
then I will begin to say that is the way to go. You'll be really cash because now it's not about precious. People
Sir?
cannot eat. Number one,
Hmm.
especially in Lagos, people cannot pay their rent again. Rent has gone up. People cannot send their children to a good private school any longer. Some of them are removing their children from those schools, and the public schools are not any better.
Hmm.
So it's a challenging time. So I'm not even looking at car. What are the basic needs? Clothing, housing, food. We don't have it. Security. We don't have it. Farmers cannot go to their farm. I'm in Kaduna, so I'm talking to you. I've heard a lot of news. Farmers cannot even go to their farms. There are some parts in Kaduna that they have been left to the hands of bandits.
Hmm.
So how can you grow an economy that does not have food security, that does not have housing? How many civil
Okay.
servants can afford affordable houses? Even I heard government want to sell the Emefiele house, 753 units to
They say
civil
they want to sell
servants.
them
At
to
the wait,
low cost to civil servants.
at the wait, make I see how many low cost civil servants can afford that house, unless national housing scheme come in to help them.
Okay, so now when you don't talk this matter, now make we enter inside the crux of the day. Oga Bayo Onanuga talk say when they interview him recently, talk say he go fit count over 100 gains of Tinubu administration, especially as it get to do with the economic reform. In fact, in talk am again, if you hear when they read the headline, say people don't they make more money now for Tinubu administration than they don't ever make before. That's now one hand. Then Oga Wike today lambast and finish in Oga where he finish, where take over from, where he take over from, where be Amaechi because Amaechi over the weekend chose used his bed during his birthday celebration did say that Nigerians are hungry and that one of the things where they feel insecurity now the hunger now they fear now now can say na lie we Amaechi they lie. So let me play Wike's video, and then I'll go back and play Amaechi's video while he's saying it, so that you help me dissect the two of them hand by hand. You know, saying I used to be this economy thing and financial thing. Make it help us talk who they talk through here and who they lie, so that Nigerians go begin know who they fit trust and who they no go trust. So very quickly, let me just go and play what Wike said today, so that you go fit here.
Hold on.
Listen.
You are talking about Rotimi Amaechi.
Yes, sir.
And you have been specific. I don't know how a man will choose his 60th birthday to tell lies. It's unfortunate. Of all time, it's your 60th birthday that people are celebrating you. You used to tell lies to Nigeria. You are hungry. Let us tell ourselves this. He was speaker 1999 to 2007. And if anybody knows, he was the most pampered speaker. Then he was reading law in London as a speaker, 1999 to 2007. He became a governor, 2007 to 2015. He was still reading law in London. 8 years as Speaker of Rivers State House Assembly. 8 years as Governor of Rivers. You never talked about hunger. He became a minister from 2015 to 2023. 8 years, super minister, transport. Where you were borrowing money for exit bag, loans. He didn't talk about hunger. 2 years you have left office. I'm in coalition because I'm hungry. You're only hungry of power. And that's just failure on his part. How do you look at it? How do you insult Nigerians? How do you trivialize the issue of hunger or poverty? Why do you do that? You're insulting Nigerians. You joined Atiku. You joined Refineries because you are hungry. Have you not insulted Nigerians? Just that you can't stay out of power. That's the hunger. You can't stay out of power. How would a man since 1999 to 2023 will stand before Nigerians who presided over billions of naira? This was the same man who on the national television told Nigerians he doesn't like money.
Okay, so Oga Muktar, there's more he said. In a separate interview, Oga Wike been also talk. I'm saying that only person we blind and person we deaf. Now he go say Oga Tinubu need to do work because in they do work. Say now only people when they see road, ungrateful people. Now he go talk say for never Tinubu never work better work where people go feel see eye. So join it together, and that's I feel like it's on that basis he's saying that Amaechi is lying about the hunger. But let's also play what Amaechi said. Let's even look at
Among the
together and
elites,
come up
it's
through
about
what
sharing.
he said.
So, sir, we want to submit to the opposition if the opposition can lead us out of this problem. And for the opposition to lead us out of this problem, we must all agree to submit ourselves to the interest of the nation first, before the interest of ourselves. That's why I choose this topic. And I like the amendment you made. It's actually state weaponization, because it's not you. It's the state, even though they are not deliberately weaponizing like he said. They don't have the idea. They don't know how to weaponize you. They don't know. But where the state comes in is, yes, they don't know how to weaponize you. They are weaponizing you inadvertently by stealing the money they should have given you. If I were president, yes, some of the policies they are pursuing, I will pursue them. But ask, what's the failure? The failure is the gains of those policies are in their private. If they bring those gains, okay, we are paying, at the time we are paying close to 4 to 5 trillion naira for oil subsidy. So they've stopped. Why is the 4 to 5 trillion naira? If they dump it on the economy, you will not be crying. We are hedging dollar, right? Between naira and dollar. Now you've stopped. Where is the savings? President Tinubu said it has, what's it called? Our suffering has come to an end yesterday or yesterday. Has anybody diet changed? How many of you can buy a cup of garri at the rate? You know, the problem with Nigeria is, if you say the last president was very bad, the incoming one will be worse. When the incoming one takes over, the one before him will have become a king. We will now be wishing that person took over. because it is a country of sharing money. I thank you for coming. Trust me, I thank you. Waziri, I thank you for coming. In fact, I came to you only once, and you obliged me the request. Emir, I spoke to Emir on the phone. The rest of you, just once, people were telling me, I should have called them several times, should have said that. Well, I was honored. I worked with Gerard Buratai. I worked with Sadiq. I don't know Sadiq was here. I didn't know you were from the north. I didn't give a damn. You didn't even behave as if you were from the north. Service, gentlemen, let's see that. How do we solve the problem of the river states on security? You remember when we came, there used to be roadblocks everywhere. Until somebody called me and said, look, nobody will invest in river state if we see roadblocks. And I met people. People said, you agree with me? And we agreed and removed all the roadblocks. When we did, everyone was shocked. How can you remove roadblocks? We did. Two policies. Insecurity is 99.9% poverty. When Boko Haram started, they said, oh, they were anti-Christians. Is Boko Haram not killing Muslims? It is because hunger does not know religion. So Boko Haram was not selecting Christians and killing them. No. Boko Haram was killing both Muslims and what? And Christians. And let me tell you what I was taught in the university. I don't know if Dr. Muktar would agree to this. I'm sure he must have left. I was taught that it is rebellion. That is their own form of protest. They are protesting against the elites. So because they are protesting against the elites, they can't catch the elites. The elites have guns. Here, if you see the number of guns here to protect all of us, not to protect you. So when they look at us, they can't catch us. Who did they catch? They are follow poor men. And when I was governor, when there is an increase in insecurity, I know there is no money in the system. Where is Commissioner for Finance?
Okay, so in that statement, he was just, let me quickly complete it. In that statement, he said when he was governor, if he notice say insecurity don't do for the state too much, he go no say it be like say money no the flow. So he will call the commissioner for information for finance, see waiting they happen, what's going on, release money into the economy so that people can pay contractors, pay people for work. You understand? So that boys where they hustle go figure money and immediately insecurity will die down. But let me let you react to both conversations, the Wike own and Amaechi own, and the reality of Nigerians. Help me separate the wheat from the chaff.
Well, I think Wike is seen as a man in government, and Amaechi don't they talk like opposition. If you look wetin Wike they talk, Wike they try to talk within all of us know. Amaechi has been part of government since 1999 until 2 years ago. So Amaechi cannot tell us that he is poor. It's just propaganda.
But no, but just hold on. In this
Amaechi,
case, he
wait,
was not referring to
precious.
himself being poor. He was referring to the people being poor and being
He's
impoverished
saying, he's
deliberately
saying, he
by
say,
them politicians.
no, waiting, maybe like idiomatic expression in the talk.
That's what he did. Yes. So he said that.
So, but
He said that.
but the way
Whereas
we
at
get
the
the
end
talk,
of that conversation, he mentioned that even though he can afford the things he needs, but how many people in Nigeria can afford those things? I think that's the angle he was coming from.
okay, that one day, so he don't clear and say not they hungry. So now idiomatic expression in the try tell us say we they hungry. So you know they hungry. So but we can the answer am based on not through idiomatic expression. We can the answer and say you lie, you know they hungry. Why are you playing to the gallery? Now, may we look what Amaechi talk. Amaechi, when he was governor of Rivers State, he did a lot. But again, when you look at Rivers State, when Wike come, Wike supersede wetin Amaechi do. And when
But
Wike go,
in
Fubara,
what ways? In what ways? I would like you to note to help me
no,
specify because
wait,
I'm from River State and I
Fubara,
witnessed both
I not too know,
administrations.
but from what I gather, Fubara supersede wetin Wike do self in his first, despite all the challenges. But let's leave that. Now, let's come back to the main issue that is on
Yeah.
ground.
Yes.
As Tinubu policy benefited, bring more Nigerians to be rich according to that Bayo Onanuga.
We never even
No,
reach by your own. No, just help me and narrate a Wiki own. And Nigerians truly hungry based on what Wiki and Amici are arguing. Let's even remove
look,
Amici from the picture.
Precious,
Nigerians now are they hungry based on what Amici said? And
We,
the fact
we
that
are,
does insecurity
we are,
fuel, does
we,
hunger fuel insecurity?
we are very hungry. And what the politicians have used is that they have weaponized poverty,
That's what Amaechi
and
was
they've
referring
used
to.
it as a tool to stay in power. They are weaponized poverty. We are hungry. And that is why when we are hungry, the only thing they can give to us, when they give us one bag, half bag of rice or whatever, gari for small sachet, the people go sell their conscience and still vote for them. In a civilized society, we will not be celebrating people migrating from one party that is so bad. We know that things are not better. And they are telling us that they are going to the other party because this party has done well for Nigeria. Look, Precious, you
Sir?
can't say all Tinubu policy bad.
Okay.
You can't say everybody became poor during Tinubu tenure. One thing I need people to know is that in any tenure of any administration, there are people that benefit. There are people that do not benefit. That's the truth.
But can we look at the majority, Sasa? If you can help us look at them.
Majorities will not always benefit in any policy. That's the truth, Precious. Let's be sincere.
Okay, sir.
Even in the most of developed economy, majority do not benefit in all. That's why they call them masses. But what you do, if you bring in policy that is able to help the elite have a good environment, manufacturing is working, farmers are able to go to farm, then by virtue of doing that, you know what will happen? You will now be able to impact the masses. But to say one policy from one government will help bring masses in control, I don't think so. But again, like I said, Nigerians are very hungry, but they have weaponized poverty, and they are using that to deal with us. That's the truth.
All right, sir. So there are a few things that Amechi noted, and I like us to look at it because when this government then be the campaign, say they go remove subsidy. I know say a lot of people campaign. Atiku Abubakar say go remove subsidy. Peter Obi say go remove subsidy. President Tinubu say go remove subsidy and others. And most of them, including the president, been talk say they go channel the money to education, to infrastructure, to healthcare, to other things. Would you say that this government has done well by channeling the funds of the money where they come off for subsidy to the areas where it go impact for the ordinary people lives?
Precious, I don't think so. For the federal government, you can see what they are trying to do in terms of infrastructure, in terms of workers' salary, in terms of student loan scheme. But when you look at the state and the local government, which are the bedrock of our development, they have done nothing. Rather than their revenue have increased, but they have done nothing. That is the truth. So for me, I don't think in terms of increment, their increment has come for them in the area of allocation, but they have not been able to translate that into good life for the ordinary Nigeria. So what it means is that the subsidy policy is not touching us because it has not given them more money to share.
Then how about the insecurity aspect of it? Do you believe that hunger and they
And
follow feel this
it is
insecurity
true.
what they happen now? You believe say hunger and they follow feel the insecurity?
I can't but agree that one. What I tell you, I say they don't weaponize poverty.
Poverty. Okay. So I go
So
like maybe go ahead.
even the bandits, their recruitment is all about poverty. The people are poor. Tell them, come and take food. We'll give you this. We'll give you this. We'll give you this. We'll give you this. So that is poverty is fueling insecurity. Either the bandits are taking advantage of it, And most people are going there. And the government is also not helping matters because people are hungry. So they will look for anything to do, kidnapping and others. So yes, I totally agree with that.
Okay. All right. So make we go listen to Wetin Ogabayo, because a lot of people talk. Oh, you don't another person who also talk. Ojo Zokano. He say people we talk say Tinubu economy hard now because of saying Nigerians then like cheap money. They like work for money. They find
Who
freedom.
likes it to enrich all Jews or Kalu?
No
You know
vex,
what
no,
me will tell them in history.
no
How
vex,
many
no vex.
business in the run when CD is available now?
Oh, honorable, quench the mic. No vex. We will come to your own later on. But make Waka enter inside Ogabayo Onanuga. This interview is a bit lengthy, but I think it can give you time to, just take time, listen to everything what Ogabayo talk one by one, because we go dissect them where make we know the importance of these things and when you talk. Because now one of the reasons we make
Many of us in this country, many Nigerians,
talk and
what
correct.
we sometimes exhibit the problem of lack of memory. We have very short memory. We forget where we started from, and we just start blaming President Tinubu for all the problems that Nigeria is going through. I remember, for instance, in May 2023, when Tinubu took over the government, there was fuel shortage in this country. People forgot that. All through the election of that year, there was fuel shortage. So when the president announced on day one, the day was sworn in, and said he was removing fuel subsidy, the immediate reaction called by NNPC, which has been the major supplier of fuel, was to increase the pump price. Because as at that time, NNPC was no more willing to import fuel. NNPC was saying the federal government was owing it over 4 trillion naira, and it was also owing its suppliers abroad. So what the federal government did, what President Tinubu did, was to breathe some life into NNPC to resume importing fuel so that fuel can be available. People forget that easily. There was no way Nigeria could have sustained the regime of fuel subsidy. No way. Because the resources are just not there. And we are just spending the money that ought to belong to the future generation. So the resources are not there, so government just have to do the right thing. Yeah, problems followed what the president did. This government has been honest in admitting some of the problems, some of the fallouts of the consequence of removing fuel subsidy, and has been doing a lot of measures, coming a lot of measures to ameliorate the pains of Nigerians. The second policy of government was the harmonization of foreign exchange. Before President Tinubu took over, the gap between official and the other window was about 300, 400 naira times. So some people were making money. If they had access to Mr. Mefiele, then the CBN governor can make you billionaire overnight. That has stopped. So I want to start from there and say, look, Nigerians should give this president some credit for stopping the arbitrage that characterized the foreign exchange regime under previous administrations, including PDP. But people are just not willing to give him any credit. Some critics. But we know that what he has done are very important, are very necessary, and they are for the benefit of our people. And we can see the results of the efforts he has done so far. We can see the results, the gains that have accrued to this country, the reforms that have taken place, and the gains are showing, and to the benefit of our people.
All right, Mr. Onanuga, perhaps you can point out some of those gains from these tough economic policies that they can feel tangible.
There are so many gains. I think if you want to start listing them, you can start listing over 100 gains of the reforms that this government has done. Let me start from the oil sector. By removing the subsidies alone, the government made the oil industries open, more competitive. And you can see what has happened there. Dangote coming on stream, other oil companies coming on stream. You have seen more investments flowing into the oil sector. Last year alone, about $80 billion was invested in our country, in the oil sector, last year alone. And that means more jobs, more products, and so that's what will happen. That's one gain. You can see the reform that the government, the president has done with NNPC.
itself that ought to be contributing money to the national treasury. Government has put up a brand new management and board to run the affairs of the company. And we expect that in the next few months, we start seeing the results of that. Government did not just remove fuel subsidy. Government provided alternative, and that's the CNG. In the last 2 days or 3 days, the presidential CNG initiative has been preaching the values of CNG, taking it to universities, University of Abuja, now Yakubu Gowon University, Ahmadu Bello University, and so on, introducing the bikes, the tricycles that use only CNG. Many commercial vehicles in Abuja, Lagos, are now running on CNG, providing alternative, which is about 25% of the cost of fuel. Because the president has thrown the oil market open, you can see the competition. Prices are coming down every day. When it started, it was about over 1,000 naira. Today, in Lagos, about less than 900 naira in Lagos. These are some of the benefits of what the president has done. The student loan scheme is there.
Some Nigerians are being told, are complaining that they are being told to endure and sacrifice. But at the same time, they witness what appears to be extravagance and wealth among government officials. How do you respond to that?
Well, I think I will.
Okay, so Oga Muktar, make I cut the interview in 2 batches so that I will let you respond to this side, then we'll go to the next one. So quite a couple of points we in raise. Make we start from the beginning. First of all, it talks saying when Tinubu take over, fuel scarcity been there. Remember that fuel scarcity will been happen with Naira scarcity and all of those, before handover, during election and all that. So say Oga Presido stop immediately increase that since subsidy is gone, fuel can be available by force and all those. And then he also did mention that the policies where President Tinubu put in place come make sure say more job don't day because more money don't day now. Because before now we'll not get enough money to fund subsidy. And a lot of people go want to know how more jobs don't use the. I beg help me break down with facts and figures if you can, so that Nigerians go fit
No,
understand.
Bayo Onanuga not talk true.
Now lying lie.
When he didn't say the truth. When Tinubu came to power,
Ew.
when he increased that price, we still suffer from a lot of fuel scarcity before we begin to get stability. I hope so
We
you
even
don't
buy
forget that
almost
time.
1,500, 2,000.
Yeah, we were even complaining for months. We used to see queue all over. So the removal itself did not lead to positive gain immediately. But you cannot say they didn't at the end of the day cover it up, because at the end of the day they came up with Dangote Refinery came. I'm surprised he never said anything about Dangote Refinery because it was not commissioned during Tinubu tenure. That's why he's not saying anything about it. But they came up with this innovative deal, which is the Naira to dollar swap deal. And that was a game changer. That's what is bringing down price of
But at some point, they even said they were going to stop it. Remember now, at some point, they tried to stop
let's
it before
let's
they
not go
reintroduced
back
it
to
again, too.
whether they stop it. At least at the end of the day, they did not stop it. Let's even leave that side. So let's even talk about that. It's still on ground. That's the positivity in it that we see. And also the fact that international price has come down because of Trump policy. That is why we are seeing those low price. He didn't remember to tell us, say, as the subsidy, as the fuel price, they come down for international market, will lead to low oil price, and then in turn lead to low oil PMS. Our reserve too don't they suffer. We know they earn so much. You don't forget to tell us, say, the exchange rates, when CBM say they want now 1,500, or still they do 1,600, 1,620, 1,650. He forget to tell us that one. So I never see that breach of gap when he talk. He forgets that when they came in, exchange rate was 760, and they took it to almost 1,950.
He said that that's
Before
because they stopped using money to wage job to hedge the naira, and that's what I want you to
it's
also
not
touch.
it's not that it's stopped, but how did they now bring it back to 1,900? That people 1,300. They
Now,
had
what to
to
make us
supply
make
money
help
to
us
build the
explain?
change. They had to
Eh?
bring money back to build the change.
So that
So
means they
what
see
are we
they hedge
saying?
the naira now. That means they see they carry money, they push the naira, they hold them down.
CBN they intervene, which is not bad because no economy leave its naira to market forces. When
But
you know that your currency is
they
undervalued.
tell us say they need to intervene anything. I say, oh God, Tinubu leave
No,
naira to float. Maybe you
CBN
wear am.
they talk about CBN intervention last 2 weeks during the Trump policy trade war. CBN said they intervened with about 160 something million dollars. So let's not go there. That was say no. He said when we remove sweat, they put some palliative CNG buses. The only place where CNG buses they work now Abuja, and now only one CNG gas station there Abuja. No CNG bus for Kaduna, no CNG bus for Kano, no CNG bus for Taraba, no CNG bus for Port Harcourt. No, so where the CNG buses go? Remember, that was the first policy. Even today, if you read them for news, you hear how people they complain about CNG buses not being available. So make a note of that one. He says subsidy bringing more investors. Stock exchange just told us last week about 92% of foreign investors left our market. So how are they
Whoa.
attracting it?
What that is more
So
people come out instead of more people to come in as in talk.
yes. So
That is opposite of
everything.
what he tell us now happen.
So all the things where Bayo they talk, he just the talk he own. And you don't expect him to
Hey.
say things are not working. That's why he's there. He's a government spokesman. So he will tell us. But on ground, we know that most of the policy has not really helped average Nigeria. Creating wealth for the rich, I think the policy have created wealth for the rich. That's the truth.
Eh?
Because the rich were the ones that were buying stocks. At the time Tinubu came, stock was 4 naira, 6 naira, some place now they're about 30 naira. So now rich people buy that one. Now they make money. Tinubu came, the current price of petrol PMS has gone down. Yes, but is the cost of transportation going down? No. It's only the rich that have car like Precious that fill their tank that benefit
Eh.
because next time the cost of filling their tank is lower before now than now. But the poor still they enter the same transportation. In short, sometimes the prices are even higher. And when
Not
they ask
sometimes.
them, they will say,
Price is
fuel
doubled or
come down,
tripled.
spare part not come down.
Price is double. Price is double for some areas because they'll tell you say food prices and other things, just like you talk, increase. So say they know if you bring down the prices then. Okay, so for other issues then we also mentioned, say life don't be more better for Nigerians now for this administration. Can we look at how lives could don't be better? And then in terms of waiting for don't channel those money from subsidy to into like healthcare, like education, the student loan self is it even working perfectly? Because when they talk say some sort of imbalance there. Remember when that student loan list first come out, no southeastern university they captured for the entire student loan. Would you have said you've served the entire population if that policy deliberately alienates a particular group of people, a whole zone? So I don't know. I go let me put
Well,
mouth. That policy, and
I
again, considering say now money where they go pay back when they graduate. Shebi now where work day now you go come finish school, come get work, come pay back the money. So help us explain. So now you sabi this economy thing. I make I bring you come here, sir.
look, when you talk about the student loan thing, make you forget them.
Eh.
Yes, it's working in some place. It's not working in some places. We've heard a lot of bad things about the loan, whereby a lot of people not get, like you say, some part of the country were not captured. But I don't want to go into that. But at least at the end of the day, they are not capturing it. So that's the beauty about it. See, there's nothing wrong in government admitting that there was an error, then correcting that error. But in the first place, why were some part captured and some part not captured? And student loan, for me, the Nigerian student loan, what we they do now, we just dey throw money. Just like Amaechi talk, say when there is problem, go call finance commissioner, say how far wetin dey happen. But we not answer whether those money were really good to whether not just to give people, make they take enjoy themselves. And many of those contracts were really completed. So, but when you look at the loan and ability to pay back, you point out, you talk am rightly when you say, now who get job, now go pay. Even if they don't change the job database, say anybody will work for 1 hour in a day, in a week, in a week, is employed. So now that one you want to take pay the student loan. Student loan works in the developed economy not because of only say if you work pay, but because of the data when they get of your movement. Some of the students will collect this loan. If tomorrow their parents move from point A to point B, how they want to locate them, make them pay the money. You don't forget trader money. How we go back to market, we give trader money to traders, say, oh, not to develop that they go pay back. They pay back. You don't forget the rush pyramid. So we they forget easily. But for me, student loan itself, the one where they pay, I know expensive will get that money back.
So the
And
student grants.
unfortunately, student grant, unfortunately, that money said, Tinubu fee don't come up before some of them go say they want to pay the money. Who will follow them up? So maybe we forget that one, but it good say if they take care of some children, they feel go school now. At least they not already pay their school fees, they give them stipend. It might not be enough, but it's still something.
Okay, all right. So make I go play the second half of that video. Make you hear other things when you talk. Remember, sir, this will be the asking question about managing. You know, the fact say the country people they talk say on they tell us to manage because things they hard, but on for government on need to show that team manage. Make you hear the response when you give so that I go let you respond to them. They make you face other aspects of the economy.
Lagos
I beg just
are
listen
now
to
running on
answer.
CNG, providing alternative, which is about 25% of the cost of fuel. Because the president has thrown the oil market open, you can see the competition. Prices are coming down every day. When it started, it was about over 1,000 naira. Today, in Lagos, about less than 900 naira in Lagos. These are some of the benefits of what the president has done. Yeah, the student loan scheme is there.
Some Nigerians are being told, are complaining that they are being told to endure and sacrifice. But at the same time, they witness what appears to be extravagance and wealth among government officials. How do you respond to that?
Well, I think that is not true what they are saying. What extravagance are they talking about? What extravagance have they seen that they are talking about? I'm here now. Do I look like somebody that's extravagant? So people just throw all kinds of things at government officials, and without any iota of proof. They just want to paint the government black, the way they see it. This government is very, very sensitive. This government, let me say, this president cares very much for the Nigerian people. He's been honest enough in many of his broadcasts, in many of his statements, to admit that yes, there are problems. Excuse me. That there are problems with the reforms. Problems that affect the ordinary Nigerian on the street. And there are all kinds of policies that government has implemented to reduce the pain that people go through. So it is not true that the government is insensitive. The government is doing a lot of things to ameliorate the problems that our people face in coping with the reforms that we have.
Reforms like financial autonomy for the local governments, reforms such as the Oronsaye reports to be implemented, seem to have stalled. They say this government is big on announcements of reforms, but not so much on outcomes and results.
That's a very unfair assessment. The government has been always walking the talk. Whatever it says, I'm sorry for my cough. Whatever it says, it does. The government announced a Oronsaye report that to do something, it will try to merge some agencies and things like that. I can tell you that that policy is still in the works. I think it was passed to the Secretary of the government to work a lot of things out. So you cannot say it's not going to, government is not going to do it. It's still in the works. A lot of policies announced are being implemented. I think you mentioned second one, which I've forgotten now. A lot of policies are highlighted. The government will say it will do, government is doing them. The policies announced in the oil and gas industry, they are being implemented. So it's not true that we announce policies, don't implement them. Many policies are being followed through, and whoever says we are not doing so, just telling lies. What I envisage is that Nigerians are going to see in the next 1 year the government is going to face the microeconomic side of its policy. We have done a lot of macroeconomic
All right,
policies.
so Oga
Now,
Muktar Muhammed, make I bring you back, make you answer some of the questions and way he be saying don't raise. I sure say you hear the things and when you talk. So we could begin listening to the things and when you talk. Remember when they ask him about extravagance, in talk say the extravagant, say people when they talk say government they spend anyhow, not lie. I would like me react to that,
No, that one,
considering a
that
few
one,
things.
precious,
One,
precious. That one I lie.
sir,
That one I
you don't want
lie.
me to mention. Okay,
That
sir.
one I lie.
You like
You
to.
and I know say
Mm.
now this current administration now then get more political appointee than any other administration in the history of Nigeria. If they talk about
Yes, and more ministries because they created more
yes, if
ministries.
they talk about Onosea report, Onosea report was to reduce the number of ministry. Then they add more ministry.
Agencies and
They don't
private
even
sector.
create North and Southeast Development Commissions, Southwest Development Commission, North Central Development Commission. Which they said he create another company, credit line, what and what is it where when it's in a Dogara go head up. So that one a white lie. And when you talk about policy, say which policy they when they make pronouncement, they follow them. That was not true. Remember the policy of removal of tariff on household items that is supposed to bring down.
Oh, now your papa born you, Oga Moktalo. See today, and the president use him mouth tell us
It's
that
saying
for
an
national
executive
broadcast
order. Till
till
today,
now,
nothing happened.
till today. Hell,
So
that is president
when
Lucas Korokoro
when
like
they
lie
talk
to us.
about policy, they talk that one not be true. If they talk about extravagant,
Mm,
which car the president they use? If they forget say the president bought a new presidential jet,
Escalade.
if they
Yes.
forget, that will not be extravagant. Wait to do the old one. The new one when he buys him 19 years. The old one when he said they said about 25 years, but the new one when he bought 19 years. So what do they talk? So, but like I said,
No, but you know that the new one where you buy get more luxury, the interior balance well because they make them for Saudi prints.
okay,
So it
no
gets more
problem.
touch with that old one
Now
will
the
get.
same Saudi Qatar prince they dash and Donald Trump U.S. presidential plane. Why they not see us dash? If they talk about flow of foreign investors, I think I don't answer that one. There's no and if foreign investor there our economy, exchange rate go down stable. Exchange rate never stable. We say there's stability in between the official and the parallel. It's not true. He can say there's a corridor of stability. He said the difference. Look, before they came to power, the only time we begin to have that wider difference between the official and the parallel was when CBN said they will no more supply FX to bureau de change. That one I may feel the policy. When this current CBN governor come, the first thing when he do, he say, okay, they go re-register them. Today they go supply to them. They go maintain rate. Tomorrow they no go supply to them. Now as we dey, there are times you don't forget say they say they go recapitalize in June. Nobody they talk about recapitalization again. So you see, the government, the more they talk, the less you see. So I don't think he's saying the truth.
Okay, so you know, see other expenses being also there. For instance, you know, so with the budget money, in fact, immediately the government gets into office, then asks for supplementary budgets for that 2023 budget. Inside that supplementary budget, about 5 million was budgeted for the office of the first lady to buy cars for the office, and that office they unconstitutional because you know they are constitution. That one is something where be say person we know there is extravagant and we understand the pain of the people they do. I don't know. I don't want to talk about the yachts. And just like you don't mention the promise ABC make us, and then the fact that right now get the largest ministries and they run the largest number of ministers, the portfolio where anybody else don't run. And what's this thing mean? Say at a time like this, when people still this struggle, instead of government to face the fact, they rather run on waiting. Some people that assume say na propaganda. What did it be say it really mean for us? And then some of them don't also talk, say the gains of this policy could take 8 years to use come through. You sure say that 8 years it go happen. You always have the economy. I beg help us look at with your professional
Look,
eye. Lights there for the end of the tunnel.
there is light at the end of the tunnel. Definitely, there will be light if you look in some of the policies. If you look at
Some, not
not
all.
all, if you look at the policy of the in terms of infrastructure, you can say that a lot of infrastructural works are ongoing. If you look at the policy of the removal of fuel subsidy, you will see very soon we have a lot of local refineries, and we might even have foreign refineries come in. Really people trying to invest in that sector. We are not seeing it that now. We might see it in the long term. Why a lot of these things not happening is because nobody want to invest in an economy that is not stable. When I mean stable, exchange rate is not stable. Today is 1,585. Tomorrow is 1,600. No foreign investor will want to come into your economy. When we begin to maintain stability, we see a lot of investors will come into our economy. I can tell you that that is going to happen if we continue with this policy. That's why I say it's not all bad. If you look at the aviation sector, you can say that the Minister of Aviation is doing a very, very good job too. If you look at the interior, you know that the Minister of Interior is doing a very fantastic job. If you look at the Minister for Works, you can also say the Minister for Works is doing a good job. So there are some things that you could see and point out that in the next 8 years, we will see some results. But when you look at some part, if you look at the Ministry of Defense, insecurity is getting it's not abating at all any longer. We thought we have dealt with the terrorists, but now we see a lot of attack on our troops, which is not good. That is why if you look at the Minister of Agriculture, it seems to be even be non-existent, because I don't even know one agricultural policy that is trying to do or not, because it seems not to be like when you have Akumi Ambode coming up with Akumi additional coming up with a lot of infrastructure, a lot of work for most of this agricultural. We used to know most of those wallet and that. So we are not seeing that. So definitely that means that that agricultural ministry is not dealing with food security. Is not. Remember that he has created a ministry for livestock and what they call it now, and yet he says to maintain against farmers' handmaids crisis or that. But you just go to a state like Benue State, they are still having those challenges ongoing. So for me, I think the policies, there are some area of those policies that we expect to see results in the long term. I think some of those might even come before 8 years. But to say that we'll see all those good results. But the good thing is that when you look at the petroleum sector, it captured over 70% of the Nigerian economy. So we are able to sincerely get it right. That will have effect on our foreign reserve. That will have effect on inflation. That will have effect on cost of living. That will have effect on food items. So if we continue to get it right and be able to stable our exchange rate, definitely we will say that after 8 years, there might just be light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay, so Moku gets is to speaking about this petroleum sector. First of all, Niger Delta people don't they complain before now. Say this oil will be say the Niger Delta. If to say now for not the oil day, say if we don't get modular refineries up and down, and the for no fit stop them. Why it be say the gold for Zamfara? Waiting government they use the money for the gold for Zamfara they do. Who be the people they get gold licenses? Why not individuals? Why government no fit license all of these modular refineries? Make them fit function. So that these boys then go fit use that activity to make money. Saying that as they do them illegally, they're already doing the job well. It's just that they damage the environment. So why not give them a
Uh,
guideline so that they go feed do them well?
Precious,
Sir,
a
sir.
lot of people were given license for modular refineries, and a lot of them did not pick up their license. So it's not the government fault that I give you a license. And one part of the reason why they are saying that they will not build modular refineries because of oil theft. A lot of them feel that the pipeline vandalization, oil theft, so in building those refineries there, they will not be able to make profit. So we cannot say that in short, ordinary would have been better for Dangote to build his refinery in Port Harcourt or in Bayelsa than building it in Lagos. So definitely, I don't think it's the fault of the government that people are not building modular refinery, because again, one of the things that they say, where I think the fault of the government is the government should provide security so that people can invest in a secure environment. When there is no security, you don't want to invest. That's the truth. You won't want to invest in any place that there's no security of life and property. So that's for me is where I think the government has need to do. But for the people to say, oh, in Zamfara, if you look at Zamfara, the licenses that are given, you realize there's so more illegal activities in Zamfara, in Sokoto, in all this gold area than legal activities that you should be joyful about. So for me, I don't think that really add any water to say maybe if it is in the north, they would have done better than what they are doing in the south. I think it's
Okay.
all boiled down to the environment that we are creating. If you create a good environment in the north, business will strive. If you create a good environment in the south, most businesses that are in the north will move to the south. If you create a good environment in the north, most businesses that are in the north will move to the south. Businessmen always think more of the environment that you are creating that will help their company grow and give them prosperity. That's what they're interested in.
Okay. All right. So make we even look at the Dangote refinery as you mentioned. And Dangote don't talk over and over again. Say Ingofi produce all the instruments, the Jet A fuel, the AGO, the premium motor spirit fuel to the consumption, the more than what we consume. Why are we still importing? See the amount of money we import. And why our largest imports they come from Malta since this administration starts.
The beauty of the whole importation thing when they talk now, what me I want to talk is say, oh, they thank God say not be NNPC they import again. So now when me are happy with that. Now major marketers, now then they import. And I don't know the reason why those major marketers they import. I don't know the reason why they are doing what they are doing. And that is why I'm happy with what Dangote. If you look at, when I mean major marketer, if you look at some filling station, major filling station, you realize that the cost of PMS is still very high. Some of them they sell as high as 995 naira in Lagos because they are importing it, and that is so it's a free economy. You know, removal of subsidy does not stop you to import. If you want to import, import. If you want to do local consumption, that is the whole idea of liberalization of the petroleum sector. So it's nobody can force them to import Jet One fuel. Nobody's importing a single liter of Jet One fuel again in Nigeria. Dangote does that supply. So also, if they think that they can continue to export, I mean import product, that's up to them. Nobody's going to fight them for that. It's their right. If they can sort for their effects, if they are major marketers, so be it.
So you mentioned jet A fuel. Prices of transportation in terms of air flight tickets don't they astronomically high since this administration. Why? Especially now where be say you dey talk say we need to import jet A fuel again. So why is
Fuel
it
is
still high? Is it our policies and
fuel,
taxes? What thing they
fuel is
happen?
just one of the fuel is just one in terms of airline. Fuel is just one of it. Maintenance, we don't have any hangar in Nigeria, so they have to take some of their plane abroad to maintain, and that involve FX. So most of the challenge with the aviation sector is more or less about the FX. So once FX is not stable, even what you tend to gain in one hand in the area of jet A1 fuel that we produce locally, you lose in the other hand because you have to import some of these. Take this plane for maintenance abroad. You have to sort for FX to do that. I think that is what is largely responsible. And you shouldn't forget also that the regulators also have increased their fee because of the cost of, where they say the cost of energy has gone up. So they have also increased their fee. So all this will be passed down to the consumer. So I don't think it's just the why flight ticket hasn't come down. It's not just because of jet. It's not tied just around jet A. It talks about maintenance. It talks about training. It talks about buying a new aircraft. Even if you have to bring in a new aircraft or a foreign new aircraft in Nigeria, you will not pay with naira. You have to pay with dollar.
So why can't we do something about that? Because you know why I ask this question. If you step out from this country to say maybe you do Europe, connecting flights around you, in fact, getting flights from one continent to the other outside this country, they're more affordable sometimes than continent flight for Africa. Why are they like that? It can't be like saying
Well,
foreign flight come from Africa.
that's due to lack of infrastructure, like we have seen. You are just saying it. Africans are not doing more trade within themselves, so there have not been need for companies to say we want to have an airline that is flying to Nigeria every day. It's because we are doing more trade within us. That's why the Africa Continental Trade Agreement have not seen the light of day because we are not doing more trade within ourselves as Africa. That's the truth. Africans are not doing more trade within themselves. So you should also expect that that will play a role also in terms of connectivity, because Africa do more businesses with China, with the European Union, and with the Americans than they do within African and African. And the main reason for that is because, again, cost of production is like Ghana have one of the best chocolates in terms globally. But again, if you buy a chocolate in the United States where they buy the raw material from Ghana and take it and make it as a finished product in the US, it's cheaper than when you buy it in Ghana, because the cost of finishing those products is higher in Ghana than the cost of finishing it in US. So rather a chocolate trader would rather buy from America to come and do business than to buy from Ghana, because the cost of those goods will be high.
So
So those
why?
are
But are these not things we need to clear off? Just like when they talk about now, President Tinubu, they talk about prioritizing buying in Nigeria. So we must buy in Nigeria, but we don't consider the cost of manufacturing things in Nigeria, especially in terms of energy and manpower and all of those. How we go fit use make sure say things where you order from abroad no they cheaper than the things we produce in Nigeria. Why? Not be this kind of things the way basic government supposed bring up policies we go balance situations up.
exchange rate, exchange rate, exchange rate, exchange rate. Stabilize the exchange rate. Everything will be normal, because Nigeria is still an exchange rate currency volatile economy. We need to stabilize that, and the only way we can stabilize that is to attract more investors into our market.
Okay, so before I open phone lines, because people don't they itch to ask you some questions. Say my people them they sabi you never jam them before. Maybe today go jam them small. So I beg just help me on your own terms. In your own terms rather. Help me score the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration based on these 2 years in office.
3/10.
Eh?
3/10.
Hell, Professor, you're not nice, oh. Why you scored a 3/10?
Because that's what it is.
Hey, all right. So make our open phone lines, Nigerians. Please feel free to ask Oga Mukhtar any question you want to ask him. Phone lines are open. You know how we do it. So jumping on the conversation, you can call the WhatsApp line, or you also send us a message on not just call the WhatsApp line, or you drop your message right away, or better still, join the link from the pinned post and get straight into the conversation. Now the phone number to call is 0817 029 4077. 0817 That is the phone number to call. So just call the phone line 0817 to jump in on the conversation. And for those at the back office, let me quickly bring you in. Oga Ike choosing. Good evening, sir, and welcome. Good evening, Mr.
Uh,
Ike.
Good afternoon here.
Okay,
Happy
good
New Year
afternoon.
to you.
Remind us where you did call from again, I beg, for the purpose of our guest.
I'm calling from the island of Bonaire.
Oh, Bonaire. Okay. If you help me just hold your thoughts more, make attend to this person with the call first. I'll get back to you. Hello, good
No
evening and
problem.
welcome. Sir, you're welcome, sir. Thank you.
My every evening medicine. Well done.
Oh, stop it. I like it.
I
Sir.
want to quickly talk about two things quickly.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, it has to do with what's this man they talk, Onanuga they talk.
Mm-hmm.
You know that he was struggling to talk and he kept coughing. If he did lie, he would cough. Because the way they want talk, you know say that lie they talk. So the thing that if you come out well, then they feel flow well. So because you they lie, the devils will they help you lie, or they choke you, make you know they feel talk well. It is not making they choke. That's on one. Then secondly,
I bet not vex. This thing what you talk now, they scientifically proven. Say if person they lie, the person go they choke.
No, I said the devils when they help and lie, when they choke them. It's a spiritual matter. You can't understand.
Okay, so science don't feel explain now.
It's a spiritual matter.
All
The
right,
second one,
go ahead.
Why our press people always go sit down, make they talk to them? That thing is the most irritating thing I watch for television every time.
The matter don't tire
They
me,
always
sir.
person 1 hour, I was supposed to take watch better thing. They listen. What did happen for this country? Why they always talk to that man? Even the Tinubu, the president, if you sit down 30 minutes, do people press conference every week, the week they do, they let the president of Nigeria. And even the president was not
their mind. Believe I don't feel let they ask the man question. They fear the man. I don't understand which kind of country be this way journalists will be asked when open man ask question. They fear the person they talk to them. You might shut them down. They shut. Now which kind of rubbish be this now for this in a country?
I bet Novex, where you from? Where you they call me from, Novex?
No, my name is Amaechi. They come from UK. I don't tire.
You they call from UK, and I make you they call on this our country, Abi. I'll come back here, and all of us get this country. You cannot deny us, so come back here.
I jump and pass.
Now all of us get this country. Come back here. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. All right, Mr. Ike choosing. Let's get back to you. Go ahead, please.
My sister, where are we?
We are at your contribution. It's supposed to contribute. What be the thing you want to talk for all the matter we don't raise today?
That's what I'm saying. What are we talking about? We're talking about your government, or we're talking about your.
So you been not a listen. You just did like why you do like this? Now you want to stress?
No, yeah.
Why
you know, because the people that you have been showing are not the people that I am supposed to be listening to, right? I think, for me, Nigerians. I do not recognize or respect that Nigeria has a government from day one. I never, for any day, recognize this illegitimacy you have in Nigeria called a government. There is no government in Nigeria because they add for themselves, and I'm only looking at Nigerians themselves, what they are going to do with this illegitimacy they have, right? So somebody will tell you, score this government, and I am asking, which government? Do you have a government in Nigeria? We don't have a government in Nigeria. We have only a few people who has captured a country called Nigeria, dividing our national cake among themselves. And we are looking at them like local Z, and they're doing it in our front. And even though when we know they are lying or they're trying to confuse people, you see some Nigerians who will be hailing the excellency, honorable, and it's funny. It's funny, Precious, my brother who come from London, is your country, right? Because the economy of the condition of Nigeria, right? Listen, Precious, let's just forget about you, a journalist. You are trying to do your job. But put yourself, I know you can put yourself as a common Nigerian, who wears the shoe, who knows where it pinches. I want to give you an example of the government in Abia State. I'm from Imo State. I'm not from Abia, but I just want to give you an example of a Lexot. Do you need any publicity? Do you need anybody to come to national televisions and newspapers to begin to lie to you about what they have achieved or what they claim to be achieving that is not seen? Because projects are things you can see. Achievement of a government is what you can see, what you can feel, what you can touch, what you can experience, what you can testify of. So this so-called government they have at the center and the other state governors of Nigeria who have decided to turn Nigeria into a country of kwashoko, into a country of hunger. Why do we need somebody to come here to the television to begin to tell us what the government has done? We should be able to see what the government has done. We should be able to feel what government has done. We should be able to testify what the government has done as Nigerians, as the people that they are claiming that they are working for. So I can't hear you, my sister. You are muted.
I said thank you, sir, so that I can speak to someone else.
Yeah, so let me round up like this. So for me,
thank you.
2027 is between APC and Nigerian people. Because I want to tell you, anybody that is expecting anything what this government didn't do in these 2 years, remember the next 2 years is to prepare for 2027. So if you're expecting anything more than what you have seen now, I think you should be deceiving yourself in Nigeria.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. It's your opinion and you're very entitled to it. Thank you, sir. All right. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Hello.
Yes, welcome,
Hello,
sir.
President.
Sir,
How you doing?
I did very fine. How you doing?
Fine. Well done. I'm calling from the US.
You're welcome. Remind me your name, sir.
My name is Tony.
Tony, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you. I think the best way to actually find out if things are getting better in our country is to hear from the people that are being governed. Some of us here every day we get calls, for one help or the other. Yes, some of them may be lying, trying to take advantage of us. But we also see videos, we see comments from both opposition and those in government. And if you go to kitchen and table issues that we see, it doesn't seem as if we hear the terrorist insecurity problems, governors speaking, terrorist insurgency, in the increase. We see defense chief asking that maybe we have to go spiritual. We see, all kinds of things happening. So I think that this grandstanding has to stop. Government must wake up to its reality, to face the fact that, well, what he's been doing, if he's been doing anything, is not working well, and then retool its structure and its policies in a way that it will move the country forward. We don't want to hear excuses that, these problems have been there and so on. Government exists to solve problems. So if they cannot solve problems, we don't want the excuse.
Thank you. Thank you. Straight to the point. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right. Okay, our phone lines are open. By the way, if it's your first time of joining us, please click on the subscription button and subscribe. And if you be normal regular member, you know the thing now. Pay your tithe. Your tithe now to like this post and comment on the post. You know, saying that the normal thing be that now be like, comment, and also share it. That's the tithe that you have to pay. Hello, good evening, our Dreamland. Hello. Why did you run off? Hello. Why did you run? Wait till pursue you.
No, I no run, no.
I hope so you know wound.
No.
All
How
right,
you
go
there, my
ahead.
sister?
I did fine. Remind me your name and where you join us from.
Port Harcourt now.
We did. We did.
No wahala.
So your name and where you come from, I beg.
You don't call up now. Our dream nation. That is the Nigeria we want.
All right. So where you call
Since
from?
so the okay, from United Kingdom.
All right. So go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Looking at your presentation and when the other of my brother was speaking, there are a lot of things I picked out which we are missing out. You see, some things maybe you can say Amaechi is right or Nyesu Wike is right. Both of them, they are right in their own way. But I want to encourage Nigerians, take the message and ignore the messenger. Amaechi, Nyesu Wike, Erofai, they are not the people that are going to save Nigeria. Those guys are agents of darkness. And it's high time we understand that we, the good people of Nigeria, we have to stand up and take back our country from these criminals. You said you are from River State. You've been in Port Harcourt. Yeah, if you compare the regime of Amaechi and Nyesom Wike, Amaechi managed to develop. When we talk about human capital development, he invests in knowledge. He sponsors Rivers students abroad to acquire knowledge. But when you come,
That's not the only thing he did. He built schools across all local governments.
yeah,
He
Precious,
built
I'm
built
coming now.
hospitals.
Yeah, I'm
So
coming now. I'm just listing those ones. I'm talking
okay,
about
go ahead. And then
human
and
capital
Wiki
development.
worked too. Go ahead.
Yeah, he did those things when you look at both of them. But when you come to Nyesom Wike, Both of them, they are devil, but one is a good devil,
A lesser devil.
a lesser one. The other one is the one that does not care about any other person. Yeah, you can say, yeah, yes, Wike did infrastructure. At what point did he do those infrastructure? If you look at it, his strategy, he will construct the bridge that is going to put money in his pocket. But when you are talking of important things that will benefit the rivers people, he target project that will give him so much money. It's not doing it because of the people. It's because of his own profit. Maybe he likes a land in that place. He will go to develop a bridge, flyover bridge, just like what he did in Ikoku to take some land. Look at the pleasure park in River State. Look at Slaughter, where he destroyed a market that is generating revenue for Rivers people. Now he took it to his personal pocket. So that is the devil. You can differentiate those two people and see the lesser one. And the other one, both of them, they have taken so much from River State. If you know how much these people have taken, because there is no accountability. And they are not there to probe each other. That is why Nyesom Wike set a panel to probe him. But he did not come. Odili went and stopped him. Don't do. Because anything you will probe, you guys will misbehave like this and you come to insult me. That one close. The same thing, Fubara came and said he want to probe Nyesom Wike. The same Odili said, don't worry, don't do those panel. Forget about it. Because they know they are all devil in one way or the other. So they are not going to probe each other. If not, we would have gotten so much money to fall back to River State. So coming to the national politics, how can person like Amaechi coming today and verify to say they are the messiah of Nigeria? It baffles me, my sister. Let's be realistic. Look at Amaechi, like Nyesom Wike will list. From 1999, he has been part of the system. He has been there. Nyesom Wike is the same thing. These people are part of the system. You serve under Mohammed Buhari, who destroyed the country. Amaechi was the Minister of Transportation, who was busy building road. What returns is that road? The railway he built to is in Niger Republic. What is it bringing to Nigeria today? You fail to link your own Nigeria to connect the whole state together with the railway system, but you took it because of high service. You want to be the president. That is the thing. So that kind of person serve under Buhari in a wasted government that all of the ministers are president. Amaechi is a president in his own side. Everybody, because Buhari is only there eating and just chewing toothpick. He doesn't know. When you ask him, he doesn't know what is happening. So every of them are king in Buhari regime. So these people now coming. Then let's talk about the Erofai. Has Erofai gone to Southern Kaduna to apologize to the atrocity he under his watch? Because he's the one that Nigeria will hold accountable. If I am the governor of the state and things is going wrong, people come into a community, ransack that community, push everybody away, rename a community, then install another tribe, make an EMA on that place. What are you doing? Is that not land grabbing? So in all these things happen under your watch. That same man is coming today to tell Nigeria that he's a messiah because he has a fallout with Tinubu. Amaechi is angry because Tinubu thwart his ambition. If he had become the president, pick the APC ticket, he took second under Tinubu. So he's upset. He did not become. Let me tell you where their problem started. They came to River State in 2007 and they deceived him. Is it 2007? Sorry, 2014. Buhari and Tinubu with which other person? Kwankwaso. They came to Port Harcourt to meet Amaechi to discuss with him. And they promised him all manner of things. They even whispered to him that they didn't say to him directly, you might be the president to take over from. That was why Amaechi opened up and decided to spend reverse resources. I am not saying it. As alleged, people testified to it. Former governor of Plateau State and Benue State came on open television like this and told Nigeria that Amaechi sponsored them, single-handedly sponsored them to make them the governor. If not for him, they wouldn't have become governor. Financially, he sponsored everything. And not just them, a lot of them, with reverse resources. Which business does Amaechi has? Just like Nyesom Wike, who is using reverse money, sponsoring PDP, using allocation and doing all those things. That is why any of them that finish as governor in Rivers State, they want to become president because of so much resources. And yet the people of Rivers State are suffering. So these are characters who are coming out today to tell Nigerians that they want to come and fix the country. People that are hungry for power, power mongers are coming. They are not coming to fix Nigeria. They are coming to grab the same power. So Nigerians, I want us to look back to in history. I don't want us to talk as if I'm supporting Tinubu. No, I am 100% against Tinubu. Evil is evil. That is me. I condemn evil. All of them are corrupt. A person that I cannot have an history, I can't trace who is the mother of Tinubu, who is the father of Tinubu, which school did he go through. Nobody knows his history. He's my president. Everything about him is false. So those kind of people, I can't give my support. So everything about our president, corruption, America is talking, this side is coming. Is it that kind of person? So no matter anything he's doing, I'm not saying it's not putting some policy that we might do a little. Just the issue of subsidy we are talking about. You remove subsidy. Nigeria was paying trillions for subsidy. So the trillions, you recover them back. Where is it going? You say you are not subsidizing for the dollar. You open the market. But you are not transparent to the people of Nigeria. Till today, as I'm talking to you, they are still paying subsidy. But your government are not transparent. They are not telling people the truth. Till today, I'm telling you, they are still paying to make Naira compete with dollar. They are still subsidizing those things. But you come out to Nigeria and say, no, you've removed all those things. Why are you lying to Nigerians? So Nigeria, 2027 is a battle between the Nigerian people and the APC government. Don't depend on Amaechi. Don't depend on Erufai. They are not going to be our messiah. They are coming the same thing they did in 2014. This is the same coalition they came and packaged Buhari, who is the worst president so far. Now Tinubu is competing with him. They packaged him and brought him to Nigeria. Everybody say, Baba, say, Baba. You brought a stag illiterate to come and cover Nigeria. You brought that kind of person, you know he cannot do anything. And it took our economy from top to bottom. Today, Nigeria is suffering. The same set of people will come today and telling us they want to push for a Tinubu out of power so that they will still take over the power and useless the same thing. All of them who are in APC, who came to deceive Nigeria, they told us when they come, they will make dollar 1 to Naira. They say when they come in, they will provide electricity for Nigeria. As I'm talking to you, APC is 10 years today. It's remaining 6 years. It's remaining 6 years to make them that 16 years PDP rule that they criticize PDP. For their 8 years in power, 10 years in power, APC have not provided electricity for Nigeria up to today. APC have not provided free education for Nigeria as they promised. APC have not constructed a link Nigeria together. They have not made us look like abroad. They don't have plan for the vulnerable people as they talk then. All the campaign promises APC made, they failed. Precious. If you can list, if you go back and play the tape of APC in 2014 when they brought their campaign, this is the APC you are seeing today. They said they want to reform INEC for us, that they will make INEC independent. Today, President Tinubu, who pretend to be a Democrat, is sitting as a president today. He's not talking about reforming INEC anymore. He benefits from a fair system, and he wants to
All right.
continue on that fair system.
All right, thank you so much, so that I can let others jump in on the conversation. I appreciate you. You've spoken so well. Thank you so much. I
Thank you,
deliberately allowed you
Precious.
to exhaust yourself. I hope you're fine. If you never done, tell me. I will give you time, make you calm down
No,
well.
I never.
Really.
I wanted to summarize for you, my sister.
Oh yeah, summarize. Summarize,
I'm
please. I
trying
understand
to
how you feel. Calm
I'm
down.
trying
Cool
to
down. You can
manage my
summarize.
emotions because
It's
Nigeria, these
okay. I
people have
understand.
destroyed. Our people are suffering. Precious. We are richer than Euro. Put Euro together. We are richer than them. Why can't we fix our country? President Tinubu and all these people, they travel abroad. Amaechi is complaining they seize his passport. No, those people are doing their job. Nobody put you to wait for you. It's not Nigeria that you go to the airport and they will just tell you to pass because they know you as former governor of Rivers State. They don't know you there. They will do their job. So they are not used to all those kind of things. It's not all about the green passport. Let them understand there are procedure, there are steps you take. It's not everything you say is green passport. So I'm just advising, I'm appealing to Nigeria. Just a second, please. Appealing to Nigeria. The only way forward for us is electoral reform. We have the right to decide for our leaders. We employ them. If Tinubu is not ready to give us electoral reform, Nigeria will go on the street and tell President Tinubu there will be no election without electoral reform. And it will stand that way. We have that power. So let us begin to send in our petitions to the Akpabio, Robastan, Pastor Subribi, or any of your rep you know. Send them letters. That is what Nigeria wants. We need to fix our country. We will take it back from this criminal element. We don't need them anymore. Thank you, my sister.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Mr. Mop, I've got you here. Are you here, Mr. Mop?
Yeah, I'm
Mr.
here.
Mop.
Greeting.
All right.
I'm here.
Sure.
Can you hear me?
Good evening. Welcome. I can hear you. You
Yeah,
don't want
good.
to show your face? It's fine. Just go ahead. Please
No, no,
remind
I'm
us where
kind
you're
of.
calling from for the purpose of the new audience.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm calling from California, specifically from San Diego. So,
Yeah,
greeting to
go
you,
ahead, please.
precious. Yeah,
Thank you.
I joined late, but I'm not going to ask you to repeat what you said. But I got the gist a little bit from the past, from this past guy that just spoke. So, buttressing what he said, I'm not going to repeat every what he said. I concur with him 100% in all ramification of everything he said. But I came in to pose a question to our, to your guest. Is he gone?
No, he's here. My guest is
Okay,
here.
okay. When he come in, ask this question.
No, let me bring him on so you can ask him directly. Oga Mukhtar, are you here?
Okay,
They're throwing the question to you
Yes, I can
directly,
hear
sir.
you.
Yes, so go
okay.
ahead,
My
please.
question, sir, it's nice
Okay.
to have you. It's always good to have people from Nigeria. I don't know where you are, but in Nigeria to come and speak to us. We respect you, whether we disagree or not disagree. I agree with some of the things you made, but I think some of them you are being economical with the truth. But that's your personal opinion. When it comes to the when it comes to the infrastructures, I don't really believe the government has done it because this shouldn't have been their priority. The investment, almost about 12 billion, if my math is right to me, is that a priority of Nigeria at this particular time? This is a project. I call it for now. I consider it to be an elephant project. This is a project that's supposed to cost about 12 billion, if my math is right, and they have only constructed about 40 kilometers. It's supposed to be about 700 kilometers. So, what year or what decade is it going to be complete? Knowing the antecedent of Nigerian government when they're doing this kind of heavy project. I don't fancy that to be the main priority right now. It shouldn't have been. There's a lot of road to be fixed. Look at what's going on in the north. I mean, trailer jumping off the rail. I mean, killing people every day. Wouldn't that be more to wouldn't that would have been better, to go and reconstruct, rejuvenate, all those
Yeah, so Mr.
roads.
Mr. Mop, Mr. Mop, your network is not clear. It's shaky. So I'm not sure Mr. Mokhtar can hear you properly.
You didn't hear what I said.
Um, Go ahead. I don't
I,
know, but there's something wrong with it. It's a bit muffled.
no, ask him. I
Speak
have
again.
another question. Let him answer that one first. Then I
Okay,
will
so
know
Mr.
he hear.
Mokhtar, did you hear what he said? Mr. Mokhtar, sir. Oh, I think
Okay.
let's see if I can bring him in again.
Yeah. I don't know what
Kindly ask
happened.
him again. Sorry, Mr. Mokhtar, sir, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Did you hear the questions he asked you?
Yes, it's talking about why is the Tinubu administration doing
The
more
Lagos
on
Calabar Coastal Highway
infrastructure.
and all of those, and that is a white elephant, that is an elephant project, because that money would have been used to something that will benefit the people more critically at this time.
Well, for me,
I think that's a summary of what he's trying to say.
yes, I get what he's trying to say. Number one, I think that infrastructure is very important. And if you look at the number of road networks, community that is going to cover, the states that is going to cover, we're talking about lack of infrastructure in terms of this building of this infrastructure is going to create job in the short term. And in the long terms, when we have activities in those places, definitely will help the economy. Now, whether it will be completed at as when due, I have my doubts, and I agree with him when you look at the government revenue by and by what they want to do. But that's not enough for us to say that because it's not a priority. I think it's a good project. I mean, it's a good project that they are trying to embark upon because the only way you can go outside Lagos is to go through the Lagos Ibadan Expressway, but they are creating an alternative also, and even to people going to Dangote refinery, some of the big companies that will be located in that site, it also create another avenue for economic activities. So I think it's a good project. I'm one of those people that think that project is a good project. In terms of completion, with what they've done now, I think they've gone as far as 35 kilometers, and they've started building also from the Akwa Ibom axis to meet up. So it's not just concentrating on one part, and it's going to cut across almost 13 states. So I think it's a good project.
So ask him why did they let my region out of the whole all this project they are doing? I mean, what's wrong with the southeast?
No, your network is bad. Mr. Mope, your
Okay,
network is
okay.
bad. Please kindly
Let me go. It's
reposition
okay. I don't know
so
what
that you
happened.
can speak with us. I think there's something wrong with your
Okay,
network.
okay. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, maybe you call me on direct.
Okay.
Call me on WhatsApp. Okay, so Mr. Mukhtar. Okay, Mr. Mukhtar. In asking or respond more response to that question, somebody else also asked that why not ensure that the old roads are functional in high capacity instead of building new ones? Because I mean, for instance, I don't know if you heard about the accident by the canoe athletes that came to Ogun State, and people blame that accident largely that took the lives of about 20 athletes, and people blame that incident largely on bad road infrastructure.
No, I don't think
So,
that.
do you think it would have been better that?
I don't think that accident was as a
Go
result
ahead,
of
sir.
bad roads. I think that accident was as a
That is what some people.
no.
I
That
mean,
it's not.
Kano State political party NNPP blames it on poor
No,
road infrastructure.
it's it's not true. That's one of the best routes I can tell you. I've traveled through that road, and I have people that still travel through that road. I think it was cause of overspeeding that caused that accident, not because the roads were bad. But coming back to your question, yes, we can also say that you should be able to fix the other route then before doing any other road. I totally agree with you. But again, we can't say because we are want to fix the road, we shouldn't do the other roads that could also benefit. Because sometimes most of the roads in Nigeria get bad because they become the major road that everybody is going through, not necessarily the other roads that we would have loved. So it put more traffic on those roads, and then this road goes bad. And for me, I think they should fix the roads. And it's only Nigeria that once we fix a new road, we abandon the other road. Ordinarily, what will happen is that once you fix this road, then you have time also to make that other road.
Hello. Okay. All right. I think your network is at it again. Well, let me go ahead with this caller. Hello, good evening and welcome. Yes, sir. You're welcome, sir.
I want your guest to clarify on this issue. The government of Tinubu said that they have removed subsidy, which we are paying trillions of naira. So now we are removing subsidy. Why is it that every day and then the government keep borrowing? Where is the money for that subsidy? Where is it going? I cannot see anything that is in it for. And this rushing of going to commission a 30-kilometer or so that has about 750-kilometer road. Is that what is government? You cannot even go 1/4 of it. That road stress cannot be continued. Even 10 years of Tinubu, it not just that put that actually by next year, campaign will start in earnest. They will not put in money there again. That project will be handled. So how all this thing is going to start that long project where the still ones are not being put in order. I don't know why what we are doing for Christ's sake. The city road should also put in order first. That money that put it there, they should put the existing road first in order. That's what Nigeria problem has. They bring down a good contractor, consider company that will handle it for like 20 years. Expansion. That money they pump in that coastal road should pump into straight Lagos Ibadan road, Lagos Onisha road. Straight that will last for about 20 years. Not the one they will normally do. I did road construction in Nigeria. They did road roachers. My company did. We have what we call when we go to buy asphalt. They thought is it NDD's asphalt we need or Roger's asphalt? They will get it because they know we're not being paid enough money. But when you want to do a road construction, your best there. You promoted high tech. Why don't you use high tech to do all those existing roads? Give them 20 years. That was better for Nigeria to solve this problem about road construction. Every year the road keep damaged because they bring people that not qualify and they will do a road that will be destroying before the completion of the road. So yes, please, this explanation of what's it called? The subsidy money, where is it? And they keep borrowing 3 years again. So why don't you give the subsidy? Then take the subsidy and put it somewhere and then keep on borrowing money. The other day they say they've cleared from whether it what the World Bank, whatever they cleared it, but they're owing China. How much are they owing China? What is going wrong in Nigeria's system of economy? That's why this is not going. The government based on propaganda. Under 2 years, we start talking about election. Under 2 years, we start talking about election. So what are we doing? Since Tinubu entered the office, all the days of election, going there. What is Nigeria doing? Well, I believe that what's it called? Amaechi have told Nigeria what they want because people don't pursue them. People don't chase them. That's why they're doing what they're doing. Yes, Amaechi might not be a good person, but sometimes when you're out of the government, you realize what the masses are going through, and then that's when they're telling us the truth. But if you put them back again, they might go back to their system of Nigerian government. But for now, they're telling us a system because they're angry. Amaechi is angry, Refineries is angry. Nobody should criticize them, but rather we take their message. They're telling what is happening in the government because they've been. But not that if they put them there tomorrow, they might go back to the system. But for now, they tell Nigerians the truth because they're angry. They want to expose the government. That's what they're doing. Because they're not there any longer. So they're there to we keep watching, but not the problem in Nigeria, the politicians have won the battle because they use ethnic, religion, and divide us. Who will start the rising up? Nobody. Is it an Igbo man? Nobody. Is it an Igbo man? They want to come there with their Biafra. Is it Hausa man? Why don't you do it? Where Berry was there? Which you know of course there's no way negotiation will start it. You have the people that bring you down. So you see the problem in Nigeria now. So we are faced with the head of us. Well, I don't know, even Obi cannot, like I heard news today that Obi is sitting on him and Ahmed Laditi it cannot work out for him. I don't know why he's bending on that. He cannot do it. Rather of doing that, they demand their vote again. I heard he's saying no, that he wants him and Daddy Ahmed
So for the purpose of clarity, kindly remind us the question you asked the guest so that he will take note and respond
I'm
appropriately.
asking the question about the subsidy. The 3 years we have been saving.
Where is it going in our economy? Rather, the government are still borrowing as if we are paying subsidy. If they are paying subsidy, they should let us know.
Okay, thank
Where
you.
is the million they keep there?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Oga Mutar, you heard that's what he said, right? So, and I think that's
Well,
part of what Amici also made, that by rights, now that we are saving money from subsidy, we ought to, have a lot of funds to do a lot of things with. Where is the money? Apart from states getting more money and local governments getting more money, the infrastructures, the roads, the schools, the everything, sorry, the hospitals you told us you build. Our hospital system are still not top notch right now. Our education system is still not top notch right now. And why are we borrowing if we are saving more now? And just to remind you about borrowing, I don't know if you understand, Oga Mukhtar. This administration met our debt profile, I think about at 74 trillion naira thereabout, if I'm correct. Please, I'm sure you have the statistics. Right now, if the latest, the latest borrowing of application for borrow is approved, our debt will increase to about 180 trillion naira. This administration has doubled what Buhari borrowed in 8 years just in 2 years. So what are we talking about? Go ahead, sir.
yeah, in the area of borrowing, I've said it, there's nobody that borrowed like the APC-led administration in terms of borrow. They have borrowed recklessly. At that when they came in and where we are today in terms of borrowing. So I can't but agree in the area of borrowing. But again, let's look at it. Even if you save money from the removal of subsidy, you're not allowed, the federal government cannot just want to use that money for this. It has to be shared by the 3 tiers of government. So we cannot leave them out. That means the money that we are saving is different from the money that we are borrowing. Most of the projects that the federal government are borrowing to do are mostly federal projects. So the state government also, some of them are also borrowing. Yeah, but even if the borrow are not done in clear principle, like what they have to do to pass through the National Assembly, especially external borrowing.
Hmm.
But I think that if you look at our borrowing, then you look at where we are today in terms of our oil benchmark, how much is supposed to be the cost of of our crude oil. At the
Hmm.
budget benchmark for our crude oil was about $75 per barrel. That
Yes.
was the estimate in terms of the budget. But today, crude oils are just little above $60 per barrel. So we have a shortfall. So definitely that's what the president will have more budget deficit. And that's why they are saying that we need to borrow if we have to complete some of the job. In as much as I don't personally don't think borrowing is anything good for this our economy at this moment, because if you look at our borrowing to GDP is almost 50%, and you
Hmm.
also look at our borrowing to revenue. I mean, we've spent 35% of our revenue every for payment of debt. I don't think we can grow, and an economy that is looking to become $1 trillion economy, if you begin to grow like that, mean your GDP is supposed to grow by almost double digit. And we're having a struggling GDP of 3.2, 3.5. We've not even gotten to 5% GDP growth. So um, yes, they might tell you they have to borrow, but again, like I keep saying, there's an ingenious way that government does things globally. No government globally can borrow all the money they need. Government have now realized that resources will never be enough for them to carry out their project. So instead of going cap in hand in borrowing, most governments have created a system whereby they do PPP, public-private partnership, where the government is like instead of government spending so much money in building the Lagos Calabar coastal road, it gives it to the private sector to build and operate. And so what happened, like what you were saying, the government will have more money to put into social investment like
Hmm.
healthcare and education. So, but they are not doing that. So, but they're looking for the easy way around. The easy way around is to go cap in hand to look for money to borrow. But the real way to do that is to also look at PPP, private public partnership, build and operate maybe for 10 years, for 15 years, recover your money, give it back to government, and government will in turn collect taxes from those funds and from the workers that are working there. So, and again, these days again, it could give them tax holiday. tax holiday could be only for the major company that is building and operating, but everybody that is working under that company will pay tax. So at the end of the day, it's a win-win situation for the government. But I'm surprised that Nigerian government is not taking that opportunity to do that. Rather, we are looking for the easy way out, which is to borrow, and at the end of the day, we are paying at a high cost.
Okay. All right. So there's a question that the other person asked about why Africa generally, and let's say Nigeria, for instance, with the wealth of natural resources that we have, why we can't manage it to make our place a bit stable for people. Because we're actually richer than most European countries, or even Europe in general, like you mentioned. But I'm coming to that response. Let me attend to the person on the line. Hello, good evening.
Hello, pressure.
Sir?
Yeah, that's for the month of June, isn't
June.
it?
Okay, yes, for the month of June. But I can still give you another one to top it.
Okay. Yeah.
Welcome, sir. Tony
Yeah.
Chukudi from
So,
UK, right?
yeah. You see, I don't. The person I just joined in between. I don't know
Okay.
the person that you are talking about. The point
Okay.
is, I just
He's an economics and financial expert. His name is Muktar Muhammed. I'm sure you've heard
okay.
him on one of my shows before. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. There are things that people like us doesn't like to hear when they are telling us about they have to borrow and the price of oil is down. Precious.
Sir?
I'm sure that the economists, your guest knows that in the Western world, the moment the price of oil goes, and even in the afternoon, the price of all the filling stations will adjust their price. If it goes up in the evening or any moment, they will adjust. So in any way, up and down, they will continue to adjust their prices at the end station, which I mean the petrol station, the pump. Now, there is something that you said the other day, and I hope your guests understand that very well. That you can't buy something that you know that has a life warranty of 5 years, and you want to buy it again the next year. I mean, the things that they add there, a kind of copy and paste in the budget, which is one of the things that is killing the economy, the thing that is killing Nigerians from moving forward. Because some of the things, they are buying cars every year. And then in this Western world, some of the cars you see, some of the government are using, some of them are, you can still see 2018, 2016 plate number. People that you might think that changes come more often, not even maybe the police or the ambulance because of how they run around with the cars. But they don't buy cars every year. And they have a way they do their purchase. Some of the cars are being given to them, maybe for trial or something. But what I'm trying to say is that economist is saying that the price of oil if the price of oil is down, in Nigeria the price is supposed to go down so to ease the burden on the people. But still the price is up there. And the government is still spending money on something they don't even buy. On the budget, they are okay. Look, can your economist tell me which lamppost in his village or in his town where he's come from that worth 2 something million, 200 and something million?
Which what?
Lamppost, street light.
All right, Mr. Mukhtar, go ahead. Mr. Mukhtar.
Yes.
Hello, Mr. Mukhtar. Sir. There's a maker ask you, say, which kind lamp poles then for your village will cost 2 something million naira, be billion naira, where they use build Lagos? You can help us explain.
Well, I'm not a professional on that, so I wouldn't know what that is. But I don't think it should cost like that. But Precious, you and I know what happened. So, but I don't think it should cost like that.
Okay. And then secondly, the question he asks about budgets. I know I don't raise this issue tire for inside this place. And I need to understand. In fact, I had another financial expert who told me here, I'm sure you know him, Mr. Shego Chakwito, who has told us here that I can carry 3-4 years budget together and look them. Say for some ministries departments, I go see line by line repetition of the same thing. Say that's so it be. So why Ibise will get to buy some intangible things every year? Why? Why would they buy cars every year by budget? Why would they buy computers every year? Why would they buy fridge every year? Why would they buy spoon every year? Why would they repeat items when they perish every year for budget? And are these things then they gulp money for inside our budget? What has made it a norm? And why can't we break that jinx and break the status quo? Why is it like that? Sorry, sir, Mr. Chukudi, you were saying something.
Yeah, and another thing that I wanted to ask is can you kindly ask him, please, is that why is it that the same budget that is telling us about printer, I have a printer here. This printer has been here for almost 3-4 years. The only thing that I pay for the semi-automatic is the inks. Now, what I'm trying to say is that for a printer in an office, even the company where I work, I know that their printer there is still there. I don't know how many years that printer has been there. And it's still working. I'm sure the only thing they do is to do a service. Everything they have people that come and service. So even if the government offices, they have computers, they have the IT home service now. When it's due to change it because of the life warranty of it, the people come. Okay, let me tell you the one that will make you to understand what I'm saying a little bit. I'm into transportation. Okay, when you have a contract with some of the tire company. So if you have any issue, the tire is worn or so partly worn and is due to change, they will come and take the tire and put a new one. Unless if you say that you're going to take that tire, they change, then you pay them. But they have to take some and give a kind of gift because they are going to regrow those tires, which they will still bring back and sell to other customers that they are. And that is the way some of the things in the Western world function. So when somebody comes in and then place in some offices, you go there. I told you something that I have in the immigration office, where they told me to pay 400 naira or 300 naira for just a A4 printout. And I asked the question, I said, you people supposed to have a printout, not someone bringing his printout. They say they don't have. The one they have is in the office, in the office of their Oga or whatever. Now, why is it that those things were in their budget every year? They'll be budgeting for a printout, but you don't see these printouts. Why is it that the people, the so-called the senior accountants up there at Abuja or in whatever the office are there seeing all these things, and they are because the senior civil servants are the worst canker worm that is eating the government, not even the politicians.
Thank you.
They are the worst.
So that he can respond. Thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Muktar, please, if you would oblige us your response. Hello, sir. Mr. Muktar, are you there? Mr. Muktar, are you there, sir? Oh dear, I think his internet has booted him up. I would like to get his
Hello,
response.
I'm here. I can hear you. Can you hear
So
me?
kindly give us your response on that so that we can end the conversation. I need to let you go, sir.
Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yes, I
me?
can hear you. Crystal clear. Yes, sir. Yes, I can hear
Okay. I am not an advocate of that, and I've also been finding out why we have to change cars every year. And again, if you remember the policy of President Obasanjo, which, well, I mean, I don't think that policy is still on, whereby government are supposed to not to own any house, and in turn the government are only supposed to have operational cars, not necessarily official cars. And so, but I don't know what has become of that policy. So I also am not an advocate of that. It's called for wastage. It's a conduit path for corruption. A lot of ministries buy cars virtually every year for their minister, change the car, and the minister takes the other car. And I mean, that guy doesn't pay anything. But I know that in private sector, you have such things whereby sometimes you buy from the company cars that the company is no more using at a low price. So to the company will in turn buy a new car. But in our own case, I think they tend to change virtually everything. If you look at the presidential villa, sometimes in the budget, you see that what they budgeted last year, they still budgeted it this year. So
Absolutely.
I'm not an advocate of it. I
It's not
think
even
it's
every 4 years,
wastage.
though.
But
It's not even every 4 years. Every year.
no, it's every year. Every year, yes. I'm not an advocate of that. I think it's wastage. I think it's a conduit back to corruption. I think it's not good for government. That does not show accountability, prudency, especially. And sometimes, like you said before, you earmark money for a project that is not constitutionally right. You also earmark money. It's only in Nigeria that you earmark money for the office of the first lady, which is not constitutional. You have to buy cars, and that will still repeat itself next year. Local government project will be included in federal government project because the member of the House or the senator wants to tell the people that I'm working. So all these are budget challenges that no president has had the political will to address. I think that is majorly the challenge. The only president that tried to do that was President Obasanjo, when he said at that time that any minister of parastatal that does not spend their money before their budgetary allocation will have to return it back to the federation account. And at that time, a lot of before them is that they will not spend the money will be released late to them, and they will in turn use those, share the money within themselves. And so I think the problem we've had as a nation is that we have policies that sometimes are not policy that the government tend to continuously pursue, in terms of when a new government comes in, instead of looking at that good policy and see how they can work and make it better, they tend to throw it around, throw it away, to bring in their own policy to favor their own people. I think that's the challenge of governance in Nigeria. That's why we've not seen that political will in addressing this budget padding.
Okay. I have just one more caller I'll take, and then I free you, sir. I know that time is already past fence. Please forgive me. But let me bring Flagship
No
in.
problem.
Flagship, good evening and welcome. Thank you.
Precious, how are you
Mr.
today?
Flagship, I'm fine, thank you. Please remind us where you're calling from for the purpose of our
I'm calling
guests.
from the US, and good
You're
evening to
welcome.
your guest today. I have one question. So much has been said, but here's one question that has bothered me, and I believe so many other people, Nigerians, over the years. And this is to your economist. He may not have a direct answer to me, but I just want to get his perspective. One thing that is lacking in the Nigerian system, structure, call it whatever you want, as it is accountability. Nobody seems to know who should or is responsible for ensuring that there is proper and absolute accountability of whatever expenditure the government embarks on. So my question is this: do you know what office is responsible for that? I know you're in the private sector, but do you know what office is responsible or should be responsible for accountability within the government sector? And if you do, what does it take to call these people out or to get them engaged to make sure that there is proper scrutiny of every expense that the government embarks on every year? I say that to say this. I know a little bit about how government expenditure here in the US, where I live, is. The president, as he is there, if he walks into an ice cream shop and he buys ice cream with a government issued credit card that is within the budget for the president to spend that month, he has to provide a receipt and he has to account for it. That in the month of June, he has been allotted $10,000, for example, for food expense. And by the 30th of June, there's supposed to be an expense report on that account to say how much of this $10,000 of taxpayer money have you spent on food and how much is remaining. He has to account for it every month. Is there anything like that within the Nigerian system? And if there is, who or what office is responsible? And if there is not, how can we ensure that this is put in place within the government to ensure that monies do not fly out the window and be swallowed by elephants, mosquitoes, and the rest of them, and we forget about it? I'll stop there.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Muktar, if you
Yes.
would respond.
So
Yes,
there
please.
is a government that, ministry that is supposed to be in the area of accountability. We have the Ministry for Budget and Planning. We have the Ministry for Finance. And we also have an office under the president that is supposed to look at performance, budget performance apparatus. I think that ministry is headed by the former director of the Nigerian Port Authority, Bala Usman. That Aisha Bala Usman that's having issues with
Yeah, that lady.
yeah,
Yes, Amaechi.
Amaechi.
Yes, please.
And Boasment and Amaechi also. So they are the ones that are played. And again, we have the National Assembly. That is why they are there, to make sure to see overhead supervision of ministry. That's why in the National Assembly you have different committee headed for different allocation of government and for different ministries. So, but I think largely it falls on the National Assembly for accountability, to make sure that money that was released was spent on the project. They are free to go to on-site assessment of the project. So there's check and balances in there, but unfortunately, I think we don't have very strong institution in Nigeria. What we have in Nigeria are not strong institutions. What we have is we have strong men. So when a strong man comes in and decide to implement these policies, then you begin to see results, because our institutions are not as strong as those institutions in the United States. Because in the United States, a civil servant can stand up. I remember when you have an issue with Elon Musk going to a particular ministry to ask for a particular document. And a civil servant said, no, you cannot have that document because it's not in the privilege of your right to get those documents from me. But in Nigeria, you cannot do that. If you do that, you'll be fired right on the spot, and nobody will be there to get to say you did the right thing. I think that is the major challenge. We have institutions that are supposed to checkmate some of these things that you said, but unfortunately, these institutions are toothless because again, there are some more psychophants in those institutions, and because of the nature of governance in Nigeria, nobody wants to be in the opposition. You can just look back and you see how there's the coming here and there and there.
So they're pretty much what you're saying. Precious, please, just to follow up. I know you want to end your show. What you're pretty much saying is the office holders or these men are stronger than the institution, which is abnormal in any government anywhere in the world, except a failed system. Are you then saying
Mr.
that
Flagship, where you see institution now?
Huh?
No vex, just continue. I was just trying to make it on the lighter side. Where you see the institution now, waiting as I make I ask you, but no vex, continue.
No, I try to understand because the thing, it really, I'm trying to see how I can make sense. Maybe I may not get them right. I'm just trying to make sense of it. And I guess I'm assuming as I speak now that, let's say, for example, these institutions are there or supposedly are there, but the men are more powerful than the institution. It simply is translated that the government or the system has failed. The Nigerian institution or the Nigerian nation as it is is a failed system where the occupants of the offices cannot be checkmated, and there is no watchdog or powerful institution that overrides whatever each arm of government does. They can just run agog and do whatever they like, and we just hope that someday, somehow, a magic wand can just be swung and everything would change. So, what do we do then with this situation? What do you think is the solution to correcting this anomaly that we have, where these men supposedly have become gods and the institutions are powerless where they stand?
Well, I'm happy that you know that we don't have institution, no institution in Nigeria, and the only way we can do that is if we have a government that have the political will that is sincere in building an institution. What we have seen, because when government build institutions, they tend to think that that will affect their political career, because that means they cannot be able to get some of the things that again, one of your caller talked about why INEC up to this moment cannot be restructured or made very independent, is because you could do it to the detriment of you losing the next election. So until the people themselves begin to ask for accountability and begin to say, no, institutions need to be established, then that's when we start getting those results. But I think as it stands for now, I don't think we have any strong institution. We only have strong men. And why do we have strong men? Because it's not that there's no institution. A man comes in there and says, you know what, this institution will work, this policy will work, this is the way it should be done. And he becomes a strong man. And when he leaves that place, other person may come in there and feel that for his own selfish reason, those institutions doesn't need to work so that he can get across and to do what he think he wants to do. So it's what you call bureaucracy in America. But our own here, the bureaucracy is more or less destroying our very strong institutions.
So here's what I say, and Precious, I promise this is my last. I'm sorry I came in late, but your guest today has been phenomenal. Please tell me your name again. I didn't get it.
Mr. Muktar Muhammed.
Muktar Muhammed.
Mr. Mohammed. Mr. Mohammed, I appreciate your perspective in terms of apportioning strength to these guys, that they are strong men. But in my opinion, they are not. They are really weak. They are very, very, very weak. They are not strong. The institutions are there. They are strong. It's what makes the nation. But the reason why we think they are strong is because the people, we the people, have no knowledge of what the institutions are and should be and how they should operate. Or perhaps we do, but we, for some, only God knows what reason, I'm including myself in this discourse, that we have not chosen to confront these guys. And they know that if we do, this pseudo strength rather, that they think they have, will become oblivious. The strength is in the people's hands. That's why they always say in a working society that the power belongs to the people. And there is a common adage, is used mostly within the religious circle, that knowledge is power. We don't seem to appreciate or maybe seek for or go after the knowledge about these institutions and how they should operate. And in my opinion, I hate to be talking about problems. I don't like to. I like talking about solutions. We, the educated ones, seem to be the problem within our society. It seems like this knowledge that we have about these institutions and how they should operate, juxtaposing it with other nations that we either live in or go to visit or consider as developed nations, the same institution that they use there that we can replicate in our own, we, the educated ones who know and have the knowledge on how these things should be, seem to be the ones that are not confronting these guys. And we are pushing or kicking the can down the road, hoping that those at the grassroots level who really are not educated or don't have any understanding, first of all, of what an institution should be, we are hoping that they will be the ones to confront these guys. But we who know how to confront them, no matter what the policy that they are operating with is, or however they write it, we can challenge it. But we seem to be quiet and we make explanations and give reasons for why they are becoming strong when really they are not. So I think that the more we begin to talk about these, the inside, if not the critical part of it, but the basic knowledge of these institutions, how they work, how they affect the people, the role of the people, where the people come in, and how they can checkmate these guys in office or these politicians, then maybe we'll begin to re-navigate this thing and let them know that the power is actually in the hands of the people, we the people, and it's not the politicians, quote unquote, the ones we call the elite that will do the job. They are taking advantage of the fact that some of us know, but we just don't confront them. And those of us that know, about 30, maybe 40% of the population of our people. And the rest of they are just what? About maybe 1-2% of those in office right now. So out of that, we that are 30-40% that know these things, we've traveled wide rather, we've lived in other nations, we see how they work, we work within their systems. We are not going back home to challenge what the status quo that we have. And when we see them in our diaspora nations that we live, we celebrate them. That's why we think they are strong. So I think that just like Precious is doing, and many others are doing with their platform, talking about these things every day, our focus should be diverging this knowledge to the people, those of us who have studied it, who have gotten some glimpse of what it should look like, and understand how it should operate. We confront these politicians daily with it. It may not be an overnight or one day process to get them to understand that, look, these people know. And I'll end this way. If somebody wants to come steal from my house, and he knows, say, I know in plan, and I get Shaka Bula for him, he go take him. He must be really crazy to really still try to make that attempt. If they know that we know what the institution should be like, what policies should be like, how it should operate, and we question and confront what they are doing, we will not be hearing this abuse with impunity that they are doing to us every day when they take what belongs to us. And we just sit down and hope that someday maybe they will have a change of mind or God will touch their heart. We pray for them. It will not. We have to confront them with the knowledge. And we have to bring that on platforms like this to make those that are not aware at the grassroots level know that they are not the excellencies. They are not the honorables. The power does not belong to them. It belongs to the people. Now we send them work. Now they pay their salary. Now our resources, we put them there to manage them. We not put them there to use them for themselves and themselves alone. When we start to make this information available to the people at the grassroots and give these guys less publicity and attention and query and question them whenever we meet them, wherever we meet them, then they will go back and within their caucus or their gatherings begin to tell themselves that, look, these people are aware of what we are doing. It's only a matter of time. The remaining thing is for them to begin to accost us on the street. We have to have a change of mind. Here in our country, that's what we do. When I say our country, I'm talking about here in the US. I don't call my senator honorable, except he's doing so. If he's doing very bad, we address them by their first name. We challenge them by the policies that they go to vote on or write and vote on in Washington, D.C. or at the state level. We just don't keep quiet because we know it affects us. And these policies, when they write them, we read it, we discuss about it, we talk about it in the open. Any part of it when we don't understand, we they question them. And if we know say no go do good to us, we go back to them. We they call them come home. We they have town hall meetings. We they call them for Washington, D.C. that we want to meet with you on this date. Come home. Let's talk about this thing we saw you vote on the Capitol. And they go back and make amends. So we need to start to do the same thing as
Okay, so
Nigerians. Those of
I
who are
appreciate. See, what you're seeing here is something that can happen in an ideal environment. While I have to wait for Muktar to talk about it, but I think this is beyond what we can discuss in this space because at the end of the day, it still befalls on those politicians to set the precedents and the institutions right. And you know how we Nigerians behave. What we feel like if we come now, who won't talk? Nobody won't carry the cross first because if you talk first, nobody wants to be picked at to be killed. The
do we then
system is,
continue like
I,
this?
I don't know, but then something has to happen. Something has to happen. But let me let Mr. Mokhtar respond to you so that I don't take off whatever response he wants to give to you. Because I understand the points that you're making. And we all know this. I'm sure you know that Mr. Mokhtar and I understand. And I gave you opportunity to talk because if they give my people the opportunity to enlighten them, make they know what they're supposed to expect from an ideal environment. But it's just the unfortunate thing we they helpless. Now, waiting make we do things like this. Mr. Mukhtar, Mr. Mohammed, make I let you finish, sir. If you go feel respond to them.
I think I totally agree with what you just said, Precious, and I also I know we the elites are responsible to do those works and call the people accountable. But like I said initially when we started this program, they have weaponized poverty, and so when you are elite, you are telling them about their right to good governance. They will tell you say that one will chop. So I think the bottom line of Nigerian challenge is that poverty, one, then lack of education. because again, they have made education also what they can afford good education, then other people cannot afford good education. And some people look at education that even if I go to school and come back, I cannot even get a job. So they don't even educate themselves. I think for me, those are the major challenges that we have, that whereby we don't have a strong institutions. But like I said, we have those institutions. It only takes a man that knows that is there to serve the people. I like talking about NAFDAC and NDLE. Now, NAFDAC, we just thought like if at a point Dora Akolere became the face of NAFDAC, and when she went away till up to date, we've not gotten a DJ of NAFDAC like her. And before Buba Marwa came in to become the chairman, chief executive officer of NDLE, it was more or less like they don't carry drug in this country. All of a sudden, when he came in, we have seen a lot of arrests as a
Yes,
result
everywhere.
regard of it. So that's what we are saying. We have people that come in here, and because of their ability to want to do the right thing, they make use of the institutions and they do the right thing. But we have a lot of people too that go there because they know by using the institution, they will not be able to corruptly enrich themselves. They will not allow those institutions to work.
Thank you.
Well,
Mr.
thank you.
Mukhtar.
Thank
Mr.
you so
Mukhtar.
much.
Flagship, does that suffice for now? Whilst we
Well,
all
I
agree,
understand. But trust
while
me,
we agree, we should all agree that we have to put in the work. It is our duty. Remember the last time I spoke about what I do by bringing political conversation in Pidgin English? I said I look forward to partnering with local radio and television stations to even interpret them in local languages. Make people they understand and not get that money to fund them. Make I go the pay radio stations and TV stations for North or for East or for Yoruba land or for South where I'm from come. You understand? I know, but if we can interpret what we're saying in different languages. Make people they understand, they know their rights. You know why? Because Nigerians, how many percentage of Nigerians we really know where they sub? How many percent of them actually know what they deserve as Nigerians? They don't know. It's when you know. That is why I'm sorry to say, but it looks like the politicians don't even want people to be informed and educated. I played a video here sometime where you heard somebody complain about the sort of conspiracy within the northern elites to educate their majories. Like they don't want them educated so that they can be using them. Do you understand? Why do you think they're afraid of them being educated? Because when you know their rights, you know what it is. You just said it now that knowledge is power. Person will get knowledge, get power. So they know what make people get this knowledge because na problem for them. So if we go fit carry information like this, make you reach people the way they carry their transistor radio, they hear am for their language. Make them like gradual. When you sensitize people gradually, then people now they will now learn to wake up and say, hey, wait, oh, wait. So if to say I did US, I'm not going to face this kind of thing when they do like this. If to say I did US, if I not get job, I deserve to at least, even if na 5,000, what go use chop food. I go get. So waiting our government they even use our money they do. Why they know fit? Waiting be the social contract to sign with them. That time people go no, but they don't know their rights or nobody acts. If you raise your voice now, come Nigeria, come raise your voice. They go first of all pick you, come out, put one corner. Is that what you want? That's the problem. I'm sorry if I busted the bubble.
No, you did not. I understand everything when you talk. Now, one person, there's a common saying that if you want to change a nation, you start by first changing one person.
Make sure you take
If
your
you
own. Oh, you've had it twice.
if you change the paradigm shift, it starts with one
Mm.
person. From one, you can get to a street, from a street to a town, a village, and the list goes on. Before you know it, it changes a nation. Nigeria is in a place where it won't happen overnight. It has to take a consistent and very, very persistent approach where we don't look back. Water and liquid, right? But if it tear rock apart, if you apply the right pressure, even if you not apply pressure, and it drop
With time,
one
with
drop
consistency, they drop.
with
Not true.
consistency, that rock will split. So we need to continue. But I think, and I agree with Mr. Mohammed, that education is the tool they are using now. We think poverty is worse at this present level. They don't march reload. I be able to talk for Nigeria. Education, bad education, they load up by 10, 15, 20 years from now. We're not gonna know who we be again because of the bad education when we get. So it falls on me, on you, on everybody else out there who has gotten some sort of exposure to what the right thing should be to bring it to the people. We're not gonna just sit down and hoping that one day magically go happen. Yes, one or two sacrifices may be made. If we can avoid it, it would be great. But as it stands, with the people and the kind of clause when they get on our nation, it might have to take one or two sacrifices. And I know you know what I mean. So now small, now we go take change this thing. And the idea of getting to the people at the grassroots is great. Those who are there now, I don't like calling them the elite. They are just privileged to be in that place. But there is still a glimmer of hope for Nigeria. And it lies on me and you and everybody else who understand what the right thing should be. Now, consistency, very tactical and strategic approach. Now we will use something that is not conventional that these guys may not be aware of. I did look forward to the day when I go fit get when these words go fit get to the ears of those men and women when hold guns, when these politicians they use, where we go fit get to their mind, where if the politician give an order to them, say, pull that trigger, and they refuse to do it, then it will change. These guys are just one person. The only power they get right now the command to these guys when they follow them, security folks, when they get access to the guns and the rest of them that can use it against the people. But if they refuse, I bet you Nigeria go turn around. There is a movie called The Gladiator. The end part of it, when Maximus fought with the emperor at the time, and the rule of that fight was that if your sword fall off your hand, you fight with your hand until one person goes. It turned out that the emperor's own sword fell off his hand, and Naim be the Oga of all of them. He's the commander in chief. When his sword fell off his hands, with his guards and soldiers surrounding that ring where they fight Maximus at the time, he called one of the guards and said, "Give me your sword. Give me your sword." But the commander, the guy when the command, the soldiers when they ran down, gave an opposite order to the soldiers to sheath their sword. And they didn't give it to him. And he lost the battle. Now then how they try to get to where our men and women in uniform, when they do these quick jobs for these politicians for peanuts, go get to understand, say, this peanut, when you they get so, the granite farm now your own. They only give you one seed. But the actual farm now your own. So make you turn around and not to take the wrong command from these people against your own self and your people. That's where we are trying to get to.
Thank
It
you.
would
Thank
take
you.
time to get
Thank
this
you.
knowledge in the minds of the people. We just have to be
I
consistent.
agree with you. I agree with you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Flagship. And Oga Mukhtar, I appreciate you big time. I'm so sorry. See, I don't take almost 2.5 hours of your time on a Monday morning, the first Monday of the month at that. Kaish, I didn't do well. Thank you so much, Oga Mukhtar Mohammed. I appreciate you big time. Thank you, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, thank you for having me, Precious. Always a pleasure to be
Thank
on your
you.
program. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And the
Yeah.
flagship, thank you
Yeah,
too for
bye.
your brilliant conversation. Thank you, sir. Bye,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you, flagship,
Bye.
for your brilliant input. It's always
Thank
a
you.
pleasure to
Thank you
have you
so much.
speak with us. Thank you so much. All right, Nigerians, that's the size of our package this evening. I'd like to say a big thank you to all of you for joining in on the conversation, for listening, for watching. You know, every time it's not just about the sensationalism to talk about things really hot. Oh, 2027 election. Oh, who could beat this one? Obi or Atiku or Amaechi. No, sometimes let's speak on things we busy concern us well. And I like us. I tell you earlier, I say I opened this platform for us to get brilliant and intelligent conversations about what they happen to us, what they do us, so that we feel continue to discuss the way forward. And that way forward we will continue. Just as flagship talk, we'll continue to the pursue them small, we will reach that destination. And suffer, they will take catch monkey. I love you guys. I appreciate it. If you've not subscribed to this platform, please ensure that you do so. Kindly subscribe, like this post, share the post, subscribe, follow us like a village people. It is for free. No make mistake. No be good to be no be good to be no be DSTV. You need to pay for subscription, so kindly do so. I'll see you again tomorrow afternoon and evening, God willing. Have yourself an amazing evening. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Be good, protect your mental health because it's very important. You know why? Because wahala nearly finish. We will live to face another wahala tomorrow. Good night.